Warning: the following video contains strong language, which may be offensive to some viewers and/or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only. Thank you for your attention. Yeah, it would be a good idea to unmute myself, wouldn't it? Good evening,
thought I
ladies and
went deaf.
gentlemen, and welcome. Okay, we'll try that one again. All right, good evening. It's going to be a fun-packed stream tonight. So just remember one thing. Sit back, enjoy yourself, and yes. Anyway, so who am I? I am your host, Spawn Trooper. And tonight with us, we have Mypretty.
Hello,
Okay.
everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
Right, so basically what's going to be going on now is let's chat, shall we? Hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good stream last night, wasn't it? I mean, yes.
It was.
Well, when was it? Yesterday, wasn't it? Yep, today, yesterday.
For us, it was last night. For you, it was probably this morning.
Way too this morning. Anyway, so it's your fault. Anyway, yesterday we did discuss quite a few things about the case and about Deuce Boy and all that. And the fact that he's putting out, have you noticed that he's posted about a band in Facebook? I mean, come on, Deuce, you can't play an instrument. Maybe it's just a quick one. Maybe this is where the crampon flea one, Womble Gob. This is probably where she worked in the music industry. Who knows? Anyway.
Yeah.
So first of all, let's say hello to everybody. Hello, everyone. To Digistorm, Sienna's here. Mama Joe's here. Digistorm's here. SMN's here. Dave
Oxygen.
Sienna's here as well. Who have I missed? Cynthia's here. Hello, my lady. Nancy's here. Hi, Nancy.
David Fox.
Who?
David Fox, he's in.
I just said that.
Oh, well, I'm a little slow.
Old age. It's old age. That's what it is.
I hear that from Slug and from my kids all the time.
yeah. Slug, bless his cotton socks. Anything older than 29 or 30, it's we're old.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway. So basically we covered all that. Obviously a lot of things happened yesterday, and there's a lot of things happening in the world right now, which is just an absolute clusterfuck. Now, at some point during this stream, okay, everyone will have a chance to stretch the legs, go and get a brew and everything else. I mean, seriously, what could possibly go wrong tonight? Oh, look at that.
Exactly. With us, who knows?
Yeah. Hi, Bubbles at the Linus Buffet. Anyway, welcome. I mean, seriously, what possibly could go wrong? Really?
Everything.
Yeah, everything and anything. I mean, hi, Bob. Just so everyone is aware, okay, we have mods here, right? And obviously, so for everyone who's on the outside who don't want to come and join us, get yourself comfortable, relax, and just know that everyone is considered a fan, and I appreciate that. I do, really. Yeah, Iron Mammy, hi. One thing I will say though, there are going to be two, just so basically everyone is fully aware of what's going on. There's going to be two segments where questions can be asked, but one is going to be specific for what we're going to cover, and the other one at the end is obviously the normal the normal Q&A type. So just be aware of that, okay? Now, do you want to move on, or have you got anything to add? Do you want to just flap your gums or try to speak Americanese with these people?
Hey, look, I'm trying to learn Willanese.
Willanese.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Willanese.
Willanese is very easy. All you have to do is go meh, meh, meh.
I'm so glad I learned what that really meant back then.
Yeah, I mean it's like, you know, as I said, more than 5 sheep, it's a brothel. Anything more than 10, it's a community center. There you go. But anyway, so good evening, guten Abend, salam alaikum, bonsoir, yo, wie geht's, guten Abend, and all those other languages. In America, it's like, yo, hey, how you doing? Right, so let's go straight into the next segment, shall we? Or,
Okay.
I mean, we've only been at this for what, 6 minutes, and we're already flying through it. I think we should just sit here with the what could possibly go wrong and just, you know, talk to the people in chat. So, hello everyone
I'm
in
good with
chat.
that.
Why are you so quiet? Or was it me?
It's you. Remember, you did it last night too.
Look, leave me alone.
It's an operator error.
Fucking don't.
It's 100% operator error.
Yeah. I'm putting a sweet in my mouth. That means I can't operate heavy. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, can't y'all just say candy? You're putting a piece of candy in your mouth. It's got to be a sweet.
No, because I'm not an Americanese. I will say it as it is correctly spoken. It's a sweet.
We just say we're putting a piece of candy in our mouth and we just leave it at that. Now you got to go to one step different. It's got to be a sweet.
That's what she said.
Everybody gotta have your own little thing, your own little twist on it. It's sweet. What do you call? I mean, but don't you like? We call it, if we eat a piece of chocolate, it's a piece of candy. It's all candy. Is everything over there all a sweet, or do y'all have like separate words for everything?
Right. Let me edumacate you, okay?
Oh my word.
No, that's a word. I mean edumacate. Right? Candy is a hard type of sweet, right? It's like rock candy. Yeah. Now, if you are eating chocolate is not candy, it is chocolate. Does that make sense? Or if you're eating a crisp, or if you're eating or something.
See, there you go again, a crisp. We have potato chips.
Yeah, it's because it's an idiot. It's idiot proof. Because the thing is, what are these made of? Potato. Yeah, it's.
Yeah, but we call we'll call it, but we call them chips, even if they're like tortilla chips. You know, they're chips. Y'all call them crisp. Everything's a crisp.
It's crisps. It's like when we say fries, right? You guys, when we say chips, you guys go, what? Yeah, chips. What chips? Oh yeah, wait a minute. I'm in America. It's French fries, and I go, oh,
right, exactly. Know your audience.
What if I don't want to?
I see Jen says they call them lollies. No, a lollipop is on a stick.
That's what she said. I wonder what Lynette used to say when she used to dance that pole. Oh, it's a pole.
Oh, I know, like I just threw up in my mouth. No, but you know, that's funny you say that because, I mean, no harm meant. Let's give the devil their due. Lynette was, you know, she was doable. She wasn't ugly when she was younger.
Speak for you. I have refused to comment without my lawyer present. Bruce,
you plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
I plead the fifth. My anxiety is over the roof. Now I feel like a paratrooper. I mean, if my anxiety is so far up over the roof, do I get a free parachute? Yeah.
You need something if you're going to handle this situation.
Hey, here's the thing. If her anxiety is so over the roof, I wonder if she's really good at tiling the roof. I mean, I wonder if she could get a job as a roofer.
She might could. She's up there enough.
Just, Travis, what's Tube Town, baby. I love that guy to bits. I really do. I've got the utmost respect. That guy is so funny, right?
He is.
I watched his stream the other day about the answering machine call, and as soon as I heard the first word say, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's John."
Oh yeah, no question. Absolutely no questions asked. That is 100% him.
Hi, Marlin. Tonight you better stay because you're going to enjoy tonight. Yeah, that was definitely, and he definitely sounded tanked. He definitely sounded that he's tanked.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
No.
I mean, he may not be. He may not be. Let me just say that he may not be, but it does appear to have been some
Biscuits.
yeah,
No,
something in there. Yeah, a little intoxication might have been involved.
I think there was a little bit of the consumption of the man-made nectarus.
Yeah, a little jungle juice.
A little bit of
jungle juice might have been in there.
absolutely, yeah. It was, yeah. I'll have some of that, yeah.
Or as we in the mountains call it, little Mountain Dew.
Good evening, Mark. How you doing? Aussie Jen. Oh, we got the Aussies in here. Prisoner 6455. Step out yourself, please. Thank you.
Yeah, you call cookies biscuits. That's what Sean is saying. Yeah, right. Now a biscuit is something you bake in the oven and it's real fluffy. You put gravy on it, or you put some butter up in there.
I don't
That's
know if I should take that as a compliment or as an insult. Call me daddy.
In your dreams.
Marlon was just richly put it. Okay, daddy, I will sit down and promise.
They're just trying to make you feel good.
We want our precious. We want it. We want it. Schmeal, stop it. I want it. We want it. Yes.
Oh, yeah, baby. Right, okay. Tonight is going to be an absolute roller coaster of shittery and clusterfuckery. Yes, there probably might be one or two swear words, but I do apologize ahead. Not really, but I'm just.
I gotta say, I don't. You were doing more than I was. I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, it's like walking up to a guard dog and say, right, you are now going to learn to dance with a ballerina. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You go ahead and hold on to that dream.
Yeah. Tonight's going to be an interesting stream, guys. Like I said, I mean, usually it goes to an absolute rat shit when me and her get on and we start talking, but we try to keep it on topic. So, we're going to have a little bit of a laugh here and there. I mean, hey, come on. I mean,
what could go wrong?
So
what could go wrong?
Yeah, exactly. So why don't you come and join us? Why don't you? Yes. Right. Okay. Do you want to go in? Shall we go into the news?
Let's do it.
Let's go. Let's do it. Right. News. Local news, ladies and gentlemen. Right. Obviously, we're all fully aware of the incidents that have taken place over the last week in regards of the unfortunate air collision in Washington D.C. and also the incident in Philadelphia, which we're going to cover very quickly. We're not going to go too in depth on it because there's so many conspiracies now going around. It's just getting a bit silly. But the thing is, what I would like to say, just from the get-go, my sincere condolences to everyone who has lost a loved one in that. And hopefully, the NTSB and the FAA and everyone else can sort these two incidents out as far as they can. Now, going on to the Washington D.C. one, I did a little bit of more research because a lot of people going around saying that you got some people going around, the Black Hawk was blacked out and this and that. No, it wasn't. You can distinctly see the helicopter's nav lights. However, there's a couple of conspiracies saying that there's a possibility that the pilot from the helicopter from Pat 25 probably mistaken the plane that was taken off at the time. If you watch the footage, which is obviously publicized, excuse me, you can see one plane coming into land and one plane taken off. The one taken off is on the right-hand side, and obviously it's got its landing lights or takeoff lights or its light system on, which they usually turn off when they take off. And then you've got the other one coming in. Now, here's the factors. Everything that they probably have manning, but just hear me out for a second. All right. Here's the thing. There is a distinct possibility that ATC are responsible for this, due to the fact that ATC was was manned with one person. From what I've watched on your local news, so that means, and apparently, this is just speculative. Allegedly, that a supervisor Dan manned them so that you only had one person on. So therefore, one person dealing with everything in that airfield or that airport, you know, it's quite difficult to do it with two or three, let alone just one. So mistakes could happen, and that goes from the ATC and also the pilots. But we'll find that out once the TSB and everyone else have done their investigations, because it's not just going to be the civil NTSB and the FAAs, but there's also going to be a military investigation as well. So just to make absolutely sure, be aware, both the helicopter and both the Black Hawk and the aircraft did have their nav lights on, and they were flying at the same height, which is at about 400 feet or 400 meters. Don't quote me on that. I'm still digging into all this, but apparently, from the two videos or the two things I've seen, they should have been at 300, and in another video you can actually see two Black Hawks flying across down the river during the day when the plane was actually taken off. So there's a lot of conspiracies, there's a lot of ifs and buts and stuff like that. So let's just wait until the investigations are complete and they bring out the actual information. And obviously I do believe they've already found one black box, but obviously they're both aircraft. I think they have, from what I remember from one of the news broadcasters, is that the plane will have two, one for the voice, one for everything else. And I think the Black Hawk, the military Black Hawks, they have one in there as well. Not sure, but hey, we'll find out. Now,
and also, let me add to that, they have recovered 41 bodies so far.
Yep.
And 2 of the soldiers.
Good.
They have said, you know who it is. One soldier's family asked that it not be broadcast.
Yeah.
But so far, that's what they've recovered as of before we went on. That's what's been done.
Just a quick question: that river, is it flowing or is it still? Or is it?
No, it's got a good current in it.
Right. So we're looking probably. Yeah, it's unfortunate. That means they've got quite a few miles. I mean, hopefully they can recover all the souls that were on that plane,
Right.
and also including on the aircraft. But by looking at that impact, and looking at the brake in the helicopter, the brake is in the center. I just hope they can find, all the souls, all the 67 souls, so they can at least put all these souls to rest. That's the important thing. So my prayers, thoughts, and condolences to all the 67 families, and also to the unit that the Black Hawk belonged to, and also to the company who the plane belonged to. Yeah. Do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, no. That's, I mean, of course, our prayers go out to these families, because I've seen there was a lot of teenagers that were on there. These kids had just got through having a wonderful time, and it's sad that it happened. It's just, you think in today's day and age, how can something like that happen? But I mean, we're humans, and humans make errors sometimes, and so my heart does go out to all the families that's connected with that. It's been just tremendous.
That's one thing about technology. There's always going to be a fingerprint of the human part. That's always going to be
Absolutely.
involved. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Excuse me, I'm just going to mute. I just need to cough my lungs out 1 second.
As long as you don't cough and do other things, we're all right, folks. We're safe.
Well, I've done that. I coughed and farted at the same time once. It was funny as hell. But anyway, on another serious note, again, there was another accident. An aircraft crashed at 6 p.m. or EST or 2300 hours UTC. A Learjet 55 operated by the MedJets SA-CV on behalf of a rescue air ambulance. As a MedJets flight 056, it was actually performing a medevac at the time from Northeast Philadelphia Airport to Tijuana International Airport, which was planned basically to stop in Springfield, Branson National Airport. However, unfortunately, crashed in Philadelphia, and unfortunately, all on board were deceased. 6 people, including a young female patient and her mother, on board. The aircraft struck multiple buildings and vehicles during the incident, causing fire and explosions, and unfortunately unaliving 1 person on the ground. The aircraft is a Learjet 55, but weather was indicated. The weather indicated at the time of the accident was light rain, overcast, and foggy conditions, and a 30-mile or 48 kilometer wind gust recorded prior to 6 p.m. Excuse me. Visibility was estimated at about 6 miles, which is about 10 kilometers. I'm not going to go into the passengers and crew. Accident approximately 6 p.m. EST on January 31st. A Learjet crashed in the near area of Roosevelt Mall at Cottman Avenue and Roosevelt Boulevard. The aircraft and debris impacted several buildings in the area. The aircraft disappeared from the radar seconds before crashing and went down about 40 seconds after taking off from Northeast Philadelphia Airport, less than 3 miles after climbing to 1,650 feet. The last received data from the aircraft shown by Flight Radar 24 reported the Learjet's altitude at 1,275 feet and an increased speed of 242 knots, which is normal for takeoff and making your way into your flight level. Well, basically, if you go to 10,000 feet or whatever, it depends. A Ring doorbell, which I've actually seen, and it is it's unbelievable because those people who came out that door, once that impact or the explosion happened, they went straight back into the building, and the Ring hurt. You could hear parts of the aircraft falling around, and they were probably about 500-600 meters, 700 meters away from it. Basically, it filmed an airplane falling out of the sky and producing a large explosion that produced heavy flumes of smoke. Showed a large debris field and several acres fire. 1 person, unfortunately, who was in the car, unfortunately, was unalived. Several homes were damaged, but obviously, buildings can be repaired, but obviously lives can't be brought back. One thing can be noticed on the Ring doorbell and other film or CCTV is that the plane was in a dive. It didn't just come down and lose control. It was actually in a dive.
Oh yeah, it was going. I mean, it was going hella fast.
Yes, I mean, like all you saw was just this, and
Yep.
The aftermath. The FAA ordered a ground stop at Northeast Philadelphia Airport after the crash. The Philadelphia Police Department initiated a citywide emergency response to stop the spread of fire caused by the crash. Philadelphia Office of Emergency Management instituted road closures and, the normal stuff. Investigation. The FAA has announced that it would investigate the crash with the lead of the National Transport. The NTSB stated that the investigator had arrived on January the 31st and more officials would arrive on February the 1st. Obviously, President Donald Trump has sent his condolences out, and described the incident as tragic loss of innocent souls, commenting efforts of first responders. Our people are totally engaged, and added, "God bless you all." That's from President Trump.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I do apologize for that. Governors of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, and his office coordinated with Mayor of Philadelphia. So they're all doing, whatever. Counselor, spelled Councilor. So you do use that word in America. Anyway, Mike Driscoll presented 6th District. So they're going to sort something out. This whole thing, 2 incidents within, what, a day, 2 days?
Yeah, yeah, just a very short while. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And the thing is, by the looks of it, the aircraft is quite a fair modern aircraft, which is very surprising. Very surprising. But, I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to allege. I'm just going to wait until Gump. Yeah, now I do. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to speculate. I'm going to wait until there's more evidence, and if and when the CCTV, when the NTSB have formally completed their investigations. To be honest with you, I don't think the way that plane came down, to me, this is just my guess, and I'm saying it now. I'm not trying to be rude or disrespectful to the loss of life, but I really do believe that it was a mechanical thing, maybe ice.
Yeah, it would have to be.
All right, yeah, it has to be, because, unfortunately, the last 5 seconds or 10 seconds, those pilots must have been trying everything to try and rectify whatever was going on. So that's my guess, or my thought on this. But other than that, I'm not going to add anything to it, because it'll be not just fair but rude, and then inhuman for me to, I'll let other people do that. Mypretty, anything you want to add to that?
No. I just again offer my prayers out to these families and
Absolutely.
to the people that were just walking along on the street on a Friday night. You just don't expect this to happen. It just come out of the sky. And I mean, I noticed. I mentioned to the hubby, everybody's got a camera in their hand now, so we were actually able firsthand to see this devastation as it's unfolding. Basically, we were able to see it immediately, and it's just disheartening. It's a scary thought. We got planes flying all the time up in the sky. And we never really consider that factor, because everything's so technologically advanced nowadays. You just don't think that's going to happen, but you just never know. That just goes to prove you're not promised tomorrow, guys.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like Dirt just said, he keeps on hearing pilot error, but the thing is, at the end of the day, this is why I don't speculate, or I don't allege, or I don't give my 100% opinion in, because until the NTSB have listened to the flight recorder and listened to the and seen everything, and they've investigated everything, and if they say it was pilot error, then unfortunately it was pilot error. But I'm believing that there was something else. There was another mechanical. It could have been weather related. It could have been, because it just doesn't make sense. That plane is quite a modern plane, and I don't think they would have put anyone on there who was not just incompetent but impaired. So, and the fact that they had a patient on that aircraft. Yeah, so I'm not going to speculate until I actually, I'm going to wait until the NTSB has completed those investigations on both of those flights. So then we can discuss it. But until then, I'm not going to comment on that.
I agree.
Because it is disrespect. We don't want to disrespect
Oh, Moosey's in the house.
Yeah, hello, Moosey. Good evening. How are you? How's your bum?
I bet you don't get asked that every day, do you?
She's probably sitting there right now going, "Fuck you." Yeah. Right. Right. Okay. Wait, yeah. Best to wait until. Yeah. Dirt, brother. Excuse me. I totally see where you're coming from. I totally get what you're saying. Here, Spawny. Wait, what? What you after, Digi? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to do? Wait, she'll blame everything on the parts. No, it's really no. Let me make something absolutely clear. And Big's comment is not pointing at the pilot. He's not. No, what he's saying is that people are. It's always the blame game, right?
Mm-hmm.
No one actually waits until the NTSB, the FAA, right, and all these any other body that investigates anything, maybe a car crash, maybe an air crash, whatever. Right, everyone wants to speculate, and then you got these conspiracy stories. Then you got Chinese whispers, and by the end, when things happen, okay, the NTSB come out with their resolution, and then everyone stands there and go, "Oh, we were wrong." I mean, the perfect example, okay, the Lockerbie crash, the Pan Am Lockerbie incident. All right. 1 minute it was pilot error, and then it was like mechanical. Then it was that. It was this. It was that. It was only after a certain period of time or a certain amount of time they realized that it was actually a terroristic attack. It was a bomb in there. Okay. There is a film out at the moment of the Pan Am flight that happened in Scotland. Okay, and you go and watch it. Go and do some research. But there's been a lot of incidents with aircraft, and here's the thing: flying is one of the safest modes of transport. Believe it or not, there are more accidents on boats, trains, and cars than there are on planes. So but let's just wait until everything has been done, and then one can go from there. But speculating or starting conspiracies or Chinese whispers will only acerbate the negativity in this situation, and we don't want to do that.
I agree.
So hi Sandra, good morning. Just a quick one. If you look up to the top of the chat, you will see a link that Nimrod was kind enough to put in, and that link belongs to Eric, who's poorly. He's got a bit of a ear thing, and he's got a vertigo issue going on. He has been in a couple of times, but he is a bit poorly. But we're trying to help him get his mobility scooter because he needs it. If you want to go and help out, please go and help out. The more people get involved, the sooner we can get him that mobility scooter. That means he can then drive around and harass people around where he is. But but don't give him a tank. Please don't give him a tank. Anyway, but seriously, if you want to go and help him out, please do. Okay, it won't. If you can't, then just send him your regards and prayers. But other than that, just try to be, show some help. Anyway, right. I forgot what I was going to do now. Wait a minute. Right. So while we start getting everything ready, stay tuned. Go and get yourself a drink, because the next part of the stream is going to be in depth. There's going to be a lot of information, and there's going to be a couple of surprises for some people. So go and get yourself a drink. Go and get yourself a little. Go and powder your nose or whatever you need to do. And what we can do is, let's just talk crap for a couple of minutes before we go into it.
Oh, I like this part.
What do you mean you don't like this part? Speak.
I said I like this part.
Oh, right.
Let's just talk about people. No.
Yeah, let's blow hard bubbles. Blow hard bubbles.
That man's a trip.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
word.
But anyway, first of all, everyone who's just joined us in the last 10, 15 minutes, welcome. You didn't miss a lot. We've just been chatting about certain things. Welcome to the stream. It's going to be an interesting one. And to everyone outside, trolls or haters or whatever, sit back, relax, enjoy this. You'll get the benefit of this as well. This is for everybody. Even though I could go into something right now, I'm not going to do that because it's not part of the program. Unfortunately, fortunately for you, but unfortunately for me, because I do want to talk about. The crampons and the swamp and Bruce and everything else, but I don't want to put a dampener on tonight's stream.
Exactly.
I'm so, but can I please
sit down? Did not? No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, what? Did you just call me a dog? How dare you, madam? How dare you, sir? Suit yourself. Yeah. No, I don't need to blow my nose because it's. I don't need to blow because I blowed my nose a minute ago when I muted my mic. Ha ha! Got you.
You just missed it.
Yes. Yeah. By the way, I hope everyone from Two Towns here because that'll be fantastic. The Crampons twins just keep on like. Well, Melody, that's the only thing they can do. Okay, here's the thing about those individuals. Well, I wouldn't even call. I mean, those two xenomorphs. What you have to understand, okay, is like they gave it all mouth, and when they had that opportunity to actually, especially the depositions, when these people they flap their gums and they think they're tough and everything else, and when they get the opportunity to sit there and speak their piece and put their versions across, what do? They pull their tails between their legs, whatever you want to call it, and then they go and hide. And the thing is, they're still grifting. They're still, there are people who are so easily manipulated, and they still give these people money. They still, people are still giving these absolute clowns money, and they're never ever gonna get a thank you, or then these guys don't care. It's all about the grift, okay? And the fact that here's the thing. Now, I saw a post tonight. Someone was going on about, them contacting the DOI guy to talk to him. They contacted Randy to talk to the DOI guy because Randy is their solicitor. Now, here's the thing. Did Bruce Deuce Foreskin, the BBB, the guy in 1992, recorded 12 minutes of a woman he probably scorned, right? For God knows what. Ask the counsel of Sarah Michelle permission to talk to her or communicate with her. I doubt that very much. So why is he emailing her? And that there is Rico. What are you doing?
I folded up a piece of paper.
Yeah, but I can hear it and it's distracting me. Stop it.
I can't. That's my fault.
You're not going to hit anyone with rolling up a newspaper. Don't do that with him.
He likes it that way.
Oh God! Right?
But only if I use the funny paper.
Okay, that's way too much information. That's the
Don't y'all have a funny paper?
Yeah, it's called the Sun. But anyway, I forgot what I was going to say now. No, it's not called the Sun. It's called the Guardian. Anyway,
we have a thing that comes in our Sunday paper called the funny paper, and it's just a whole little insert that's nothing but comics and stuff, and we call that the funny paper because it makes you laugh.
Don't David, don't give her any freaking ideas. Thank you very much.
Hey, David. Or either it's called wrapping paper if you live really far south.
Mypretty, you have an echo. No, she doesn't. She doesn't have an echo.
I can't hear, so I'm not sure. I got earphones in.
No, no. The thing is, it's probably they can hear you through my microphone, but because anyway, yeah. But no, there's no echo. Digistorm. It's the void between. Oh God, I nearly said I love you, Digi. Now, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So basically, he in the federal RICO statute, he has broken the law, which I explained the other day. If he hasn't got permission to talk to Shara, all right, from her counsel, then that's classified as witness intimidation, and it could be perceived as witness intimidation. And the fact that a threat was made and publicized on that Facebook group towards Shara and family members of hers, obviously, well done to you for contacting the law enforcement and getting it done and sorted. It becomes the question if, like, the whole system in the United States, when it comes to this treatment of witnesses, needs to be addressed, because at the end of the day, if a witness is contacted by the other side's counsel without the consent or permission or the know-how or having the counsel present when that happens, and the fact that there's history with both parties from the past, we all know, she was taken advantage of, on platforms when she was on platforms with individuals. But that there concerns me because he knows what buttons to press. But luckily, he's dealing with an entity, and Shara is very clever and saw it coming. So, and obviously in her video, you can see her response to him. But again, he should not be contacting her in any shape or form. So I wonder if they're gonna have him, if they're gonna get him by his man sausage and bring him in and say, right, you just made a big boo boo. But we'll see what happens. Right, Mypretty.
Yes, darling.
What do you want to cover for? Wait a minute. What do you want to cover for next? You want? Yeah, I know. Oh, wait a minute. The next thing. Have a guess what's going to happen next, ladies and gentlemen. Oh wait, I sent my video message for you.
Yeah, I got it.
Right. Okay. Right. Film review.
That
Annie.
is not what's next.
Hi, Anna. Wait, what?
That was not what was next.
What was next?
About the war was the first thing. And then the film review. You've got it mixed around. But we can do it either way you'd like.
Oh, bollocks.
See, okay, you have me around for a reason. I'm not just a pretty face.
Okay. Let's go back. Hey, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Let's go back. Right. Right. Okay. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. But whichever way you'd like to do it, I'm with you.
You've got me so confused now. My brain's just gone.
Don't blame me for that.
Yeah, it does, because I've got it written down here. Anyway, right. Okay. So basically, before we go into the film reviews and everything else, wait a minute. Hans DeVille, I'm late. Hello, Spawn. Hi, buddy. Flying fire. Oh God. Yeah, the flying man sausage is back. Do you ask the man sausage? Yeah. They say he's in the internet witnesses. He has done that. Oh, of course, he's done that before. Deuce Boy, that he's an absolute clown. Like I said, that nose of his, right? If that nose would have been on the Titanic, right, before they hit that iceberg, they would have been able to turn quicker if it had been the rudder. They would have been able to do a 180 like that. People would have got whiplash. Trust me. Anyway, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of the topics we're going to be touching today, well, touching on, not touching, right? Touching without permission is illegal, right? is the Boer War. So, Mypretty,
Yes.
go for it.
No. You're supposed to start, remember?
Oh, God damn it. Right. Okay. Let me just get. Right. Okay. The Boer War. What do we know about the Boer War? Well, first of all, the Boer War were a series of conflicts that happened between the British Empire and the Boers in republics in South Africa. Right. Basically, the wars took place in the late 19th century and resulted in individual independence of South Africa. And that's where South Africa came from. Now, a lot of people think it's just one, but there were two wars in this. And the first Boer War was fought between 1880 and 1881, also known as the Transvaal Rebellion. The Boers of the Transvaal revolted against the British annexation. Right. Now, around that time, the Boers won that one, and that's when the South African South African Republic basically gained its independence. Okay, but we're going to go into a little bit of depth in a minute about all the. Now, the second one, right, happened between 1899 and 1902. Also known as the South African War. So basically, there were two: the Transvaal Rebellion and the South African War. Obviously, the Brits, the British, they won that one. They used some controversial ways of winning it, but in them days, don't forget, right? What happened in them days today it'd have been an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, probably a couple of days, and then it'd have been over with. But anyway, the human cost in this, which is staggering to say the least, nearly 100,000 people perished, right, including more than 20,000 British troops and 14,000 Boer troops. Okay, that's including the 100,000, right? So, sorry, not including the 100,000. So you're looking at 134,000, probably more, right? A lot of the Boer War women and children died in concentration camps for malnutrition and disease. Now, concentration camps, where did that name come from? Basically, it came from concentration. How can I put this so people understand? Right. A concentration camp is not what you think. It's not one of these typical Second World War German type of concentration camps. In the terminology, in the British terminology, concentration is basically concentrating a subject or an object in one place. That's what it was supposed to mean, concentration camp. Like in America in the Second World War, when Japan on the 7th of December 1941, when they attacked Pearl Harbor, basically any Japanese national who lived in America, may they have been born in America or they were married to a Japanese or anything, any Japanese national was put into internment camps in the United States. Now, believe it or not, internment camps are exactly the same. They're concentration camps because you're concentrating one entity or one thing into that camp. Right? It was during the Second World War where the terminology concentration camp came through. But you got prison camp, you got internment camp, and you got concentration camp. But unfortunately, we're not going to go into the history of the Germans and the unfortunate situation in the Second World War, because it's got nothing to do with that. Anyway, right, the aftermath about the Boer Wars, relations between the Boers and the English-speaking South Africans remained tense for many decades. The trauma of the war led to a rise of apartheid in South Africa, and that's where the birth of apartheid came from. Right, Mypretty.
Yeah.
Would you like to continue, or shall I?
Well, what I found to be really interesting when you were telling me about the concentration camps is that, of course, my mind went to the only thing that I had ever heard of, which was what you were talking about.
Yeah.
But I found it very interesting that I had to look up the word Boa, of course, because I'd never recognized it before, but it meant farmers.
Yeah.
And these were farming people. These were people that farmed the lands. These were
Mm.
people that actually worked the land that was involved in this war.
Yeah.
And it's something that we're not taught over here. I'd never heard of the Boer War till Malene had said something about it. And when, of course, we're not taught that, but I couldn't believe how astronomical this really was for that country
Mm-hmm.
and for all the countries involved. I do believe that Canada, this was the first foreign war. The second Boer War was the first foreign war that the Canadians had been involved in. And so this was another war that stretched the countries. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't just, centralized, it actually stretched all these different countries.
Mm.
And I found that so fascinating. It
Yeah.
would
I mean,
just, go ahead.
yeah. Just so you know, I've put a link to the information about the Boer War into chat if you are interested in actually following what we're going to do. Very quickly, I'm just going to read the origins of, Uitlanders and everything else. So basically, it gives you an idea. The origins of the Boer War lay in Britain's desire to unite or confederate. The British South African territories of the Cape Colony and Natal with the Boer republics of the Orange Free State and the South African Republic are also known as Transvaal. The Boers, African-speaking farmers, wanted to maintain their independence. Indeed, in 1880 to 81, the Transvaal Boers had successfully fought the British in order to achieve this. Uitlanders, also spelled as Uitlandeers. The discovery of gold in the South African Republic of SAR, which is short for SAR, in 1886 raised the stakes. The arrival of a large influx of English-speaking people attracted to the goldfields, known as Uitlanders, literally outlander, by the Afrikaans, was a major worry for the Boers, who saw them as a threat to their way of life. Jameson Raid of 1896 was an attempt to create an uprising amongst the Uitlanders in the SAR, led by Dr. Lancaster Jameson and his British South African Company troops. Its failure was a humiliation of Britain and the supporters of Confederation. It led to further deterioration in the relationship between the British and the Boer government. Annexation, anxious to overcome this setback and to give British policy fresh impetus, the Colonial Secretary Joseph Chamberlain appointed an outspoken imperialist, Sir Alfred Milner, as High Commissioner for South Africa in 1897. Kruger proposals. We're not going to go through that. Boers strike. Recognizing that Britain was not seeking a peaceful settlement, obviously it kicked off. Now, I've got pictures here, actual pictures of a conflict, which was called a Black Week. There's actually, they've actually taken pictures of deceased troops, but I'm not going to show that. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of sort of a timetable of what happened. 7th of October 1899, British Army ordered to mobilise. 9th of October 1899, Sir Redvers Buller appointed Commander-in-Chief in South Africa. 11th of October 1899, Boer ultimatum expires. 12th of October 1899, South Africa Republic invades natal battle of Lingsnek. 13th of October 1899, siege of Mafeking begins. 15th of October, siege of Kimberley begins. 28th of October 1899, this is all in the same year, by the way, Battle of Elandslaagte, which is spelled ELANDSLAAGTE. 2nd of November, siege of Ladysmith begins. 28th of November, Battle of Modder River. 10th of December, Battle of Stromberg. 11th of December, Battle of Magersfontein. 15th of December, Battle of Colenso. 18th of December, Lord Roberts appointed commander-in-chief in South Africa. So that should give you an idea of what was going on.
I have a
Mypretty,
question.
go for it.
I have a question. Is that after this war? Is that why there were Oh gosh, what are the people called that are from Great Britain, but they're over there, I guess to watch everything. I can't think of the name of what they're called.
Diplomats,
It's
observers,
Yeah, it's like the diplomats, but they're called something else.
envoys.
Yeah, the envoys. Is that whenever they started setting that up in that country for the envoys to be over there to actually have people there in that part of the country for that purpose to have the control and stuff?
No, envoys are not there to control. Envoys are there basically to be the middleman or the communication between two parties.
Okay.
That's why you got envoys or diplomats, because they're responsible to. It's like every embassy in every country, right? That's that country's soil, even if it's in a foreign country. So the ambassador is basically the middleman between that country and his country. So if there's a problem, their diplomats will come to you, your diplomat, and then they will sit down and say, "Hey, look, this is going on," and then it's basically they talk, and then they go back to their sides and then say, "Look, this is what's going on." So that's a diplomat and envoys. That's
Okay,
um,
okay, because we call them ambassadors. So I guess that's the same principle.
right,
The envoy is the same principle as an ambassador, I guess, is
right,
what you're saying.
yeah,
Okay.
right. In basically in them days, they also knew about Star Wars because it says here, "Empire Strikes Back." Um, because here it says after several reverses, the British mobilised their superior resources and sent more men to South Africa. This included troops from across the empire, especially from Canada and Australia. Eventually, over 400,000 soldiers were involved. So yeah, it did kick off, and especially it did kick off over there. African and Indian role. This is a way a lot of people don't realize. Especially around the time, because between like the end of the 17th century, turn around the 18th century, Great Britain abolished slavery. Where slavery was like illegal in our country, and we even had a navy presence chasing slavers. So, um, in them days, obviously life was different. And looking at some of these pictures, it is like it would have been interesting to serve in them days, but yeah. Anyway, it says right. This is African and Indian role. On the outbreak of the war, the British made a tacit agreement with the Boers' enemies that both sides would not harm the black population as the war progressed. However, the stance proved difficult to maintain and began employing armed black people as scouts, or the indigenous life there. It estimates that between 15,000 and 30,000 black African eventually served under the arms with the British Armed Forces as scouts and sentries, and another 100,000 working as labourers, transport drivers, blacksmiths, wheelwrights, farriers, and builders. Although the Indian Army was not deployed to South Africa, a small number of Indian stretcher bearers and servants took part in the campaign. In the Indian Ambulance Corps consisted of 300 free Indian and 800 indigent workers with the sugar estates, who were sent to the front by their employers. Now, one thing I can turn around is that I do know that there is actually a museum in the UK somewhere. I can't remember where it is, and it's part of a transport unit museum, and they actually do have pictures from the Indian Ambulance Corps. They do actually have information in there. The first, right, Marlon, just to give you a sort of a change, the First World War was 12 years later after the Second Boer War, the South African conflict finished, because that finished in 1902. 1901, British Parliament commenced. In 1902, the last Boer War conflict ended, and in 1914 is when the First World War started. So there was 12 years different, 12 years apart. Yeah. So
And don't you have the National Army Museum over there too that has a lot of stuff about this war in it
Yes.
also? Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah. Yes, we do. Yeah. Um, yes. I mean, like the picture that's here, Ladysmith. That yeah. After success against the invading Boers at the Battle of Talana and Elan Slagged on the 20th and 21st of October 1899, Lieutenant General Sir George White Natal Field Force, charged with the defence of the colony, was itself besieged in Ladysmith. About 13,500 troops, the majority British regulars, and 7,500 civilians, 2,500 of them Indians, were trapped. As the siege proceeded, the number of Boers in the trenches rarely exceeded 5,000. They opened their bombardment on the 2nd of November with 17 field goals. Right. And there's a picture here at Spoin Cop, which is spelled Spion. Second word is KOP, January 19th century. And basically, the whole trench is full of unalived British troops. And I mean, richly on top of each other. It was, and then in them days, basically, any unalived troops would be laying there for days before, anyone would go back. And sometimes you get what they call battlefield thieves. They would turn up and steal the boots, or they'll steal belts. And because in them days, the leather belts or the boots they wore cost quite a lot of money. So yeah. But yeah, in the end, just to give you a couple more dates, this is now 1900, and this happened in that 1 year. You've got Battle of Spiernkop, relief of Kimberley, Battle of Paardeburg, surrender of General Bert Grant at Paardeburg, relief of Ladysmith, British occupation of Bloemfontein, battles of Glencoe and Dundee, relief of Mafeking, annexation of Orange Free State, Battle of Doornkop, British occupation of Pretoria, Battle of Diamond Hill, surrender of General Matthias Prinsloo in Brandswater Basin, annexation of South African Republic, Lord Roberts calls on the Boers to surrender, Lord Kitchener succeeds Roberts as Commander-in-Chief, concentration camps introduced. And that was, again, concentration camps in them days were not what you think of what we know today about concentration camps. These concentration camps were basically internment / prison and war camps. Okay. But like in them days, it was unfortunately, through time, we evolve. In them days, if we went back now to them days, everyone would be out of place. We wouldn't know what to do. But Mypretty,
Yes, I'm here.
go ahead.
I was just looking at the pictures on the site that you had posted.
Yep.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It it just seems so far. I guess it is so far, and that you think about these things happening and how many lives have been lost to wars, and what this war seems to have really been fought over. And it seems like it's the same thing as with most wars. It's fought over the land and what the land produces. And it's fought over people wanting to do things their way and not, I guess, conforming. But so many lives were lost in this. I had no idea until you had me, researching it and looking into it. It's incredible.
I mean, it's the conflicts that we have today. I mean, the closest you'll ever come to what they get through and what troops went through in the First and Second World War, or First War, is what's going on in Ukraine right now. It's very close to that. The only difference is modernized weapons, drones, and stuff. But the link is there. I'll put it in here again, so people can then do your own research, and hopefully you'll learn something. Let me put it this way: what happened in the past, we should be taking everything on board and learn from the mistakes or from things that shouldn't have been done or were done wrong, and in the future try to avoid making the same mistakes that happened then. And Mr. Lady, one thing I would suggest is try, if it's on your bottom, try to take pressure or weight off that, because the thing is, when you apply pressure to a wound, it can inflame it. So try to lay on your stomach or get something soft that there's not a direct pressure. But anyway, right. What are we on to next? What's next?
It's film review.
Film review. So,
Yeah.
right, if anyone wants a toilet break or anyone wants a moment so they can go and get refreshments or anything like that, press 1 now. And if you want us to carry on and keep on going with the stream, press 2, and basically do that now.
Everybody's telling Moosey to, not be sitting. She needs to be laying down. I bet Moosey's never been told to get on her back so many times in her life. Digi done flipped that around and told her to get on your belly.
Get on your belly, Missy. I mean, I saw Slug coming. I'm a bit sad he didn't stay. I'm sad now.
You know him. He pops in and out.
I know.
He ain't got the patience.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like a spring. It's like ding 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 ding. Nah,
oh yeah.
Right. Yeah, right. So we got 2 2s. Okay. So okay, well, yeah. Okay, well, let's crack on then. And guys, don't forget to hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed, come and subscribe and come on in and join everyone. All right, and I can tell you now, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna start having fun now. All right, in the next anyway. Twin snotters. Twin snotters. How do you spell it? Yeah, I took. Oh, you are such a bastard. No, anyway, I know where that. Yeah. Anyway, so right, film review. Okay, now I am going to go to the bathroom, so that means
the coffee has kicked in.
No, it's actually the Dr. Pepper, but shh, don't tell it. Right. So what's going to happen now is that basically Mypretty, okay, is now going to take you through a little bit of film, one of the films that she's watched. All right, she's going to talk about the film. Obviously, don't give too much away, Pretty. And yeah, and then what we'll do in the film history or the film review history, we'll then go in depth. Yeah, happy? Good.
Okay. All right.
I'll be right back. It's all yours.
He just trusts entirely too much just to leave me on my own. He's crazy. The film that he asked me to look into is one, of course, I know, and if you live in America and you're a man, there's no chance that you've not seen it. It's called Tombstone with Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer, and it's about a story about our Wild West and what happened here whenever half of our country really wasn't what hadn't been established really good. They were just getting started in that area and just starting up, and law really, they were trying to have law in this area, but it was so sparse that people just didn't listen. They wanted to do what they wanted to do. They wanted to run wild. Most people that had come to the West had come because of poverty and such over in the northern country and the northern states and the southern states, and they were branching out because they wanted to own something. They wanted to have something. And it's a story about Wyatt Earp, and he ended up being a U.S. Marshal, but at the time he was a lawman, and he wasn't always above the law. And that's what made him extremely great, is the fact that he wasn't always, in line with the law, but he had a very strong line that was written in the sand, and if you crossed that line, that was it. And he makes a statement, or they do in the movie, hell's coming, I'm coming and hell's coming with me. And that's exactly the persona that he put out there, is that he
Yeah.
would just mess you up if you know, didn't do the right thing. And he always gave you a warning. He always told you what was going to happen. And if you chose not to listen, well, that was on you. So, and Tombstone's a true story. It's 100%. It really happened. It's about the fight with the cowboys at the OK Corral, and they were actually buried at Boot Hill. It just brings into play all of the stories that you're told as a kid about the cowboys and what really happened in the Wild West. And it's a wonderful story. It's absolutely amazing. And like I said, every man probably in the United States has seen it. It's definitely a man's movie, but it's a movie that women absolutely love also. And it was something that you would really enjoy watching. It's something you can sit down with your husband and watch, and you're not going to be bored, and he's going to be extremely excited and think you're the greatest thing in the world because you watched it with him. And you're going to watch it because Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer are extremely hot in the movie.
Lord Vader. Yes, master. Rise.
Oh my lord. You got that caffeine going, don't you?
Oh yes, I heard you when I was going to the bathroom. You cheeky little shit. Yeah, it's Tombstone is Val Kilmer. He was quite good in that. He was
Oh,
actually quite good
Val
in it.
Kilmer owned that movie. Let me tell you. And
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know Doc. You know, he went by Doc Holliday, but he was actually a dentist out of Georgia,
Hmm.
and that's what he really was. He was a dentist, and that was what he did. But I mean, he was also just like the most incredible person. If you my husband's a huge White Earp fan, so
Yeah.
I've read all the books and everything about it. But he was a really good guy. He was a great friend, and if you had him on your side, you had something special.
Hmm.
I'll never. One of his favorite sayings in that movie is, "I'll be your huckleberry." Well, forever, I'm thinking about the huckleberry. You know, the actual fruit or the berry. I didn't know that huckleberry meant your pallbearer. I'll carry your casket. That's what a huckleberry is. It's the person that carries the casket.
Hmm.
That's what those things are on the side of the casket. I didn't know that. And so, you know, that was something I learned from the film that I had no idea that's what it meant. Because the guys, when we watched it with a bunch of his friends, and they were all like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm thinking, well, what was so special about him saying that?
Hmm. It's funny. It's funny you actually say that because, like, when I was walking away to the bathroom, and no mailing, I have to use both hands. You know, my man sausage is not small. No, when I came back and I was hearing you talk about Tombstone, it reminded me of the film Zulu with Michael Caine, and the fact that, funny enough, Michael Caine was never picked for that role. And obviously Zulu is based on a true event as well. Um, but it's really strange why I remember that. The fact that it was only by pure coincidence that he bumped into the producer writer of Zulu, that he ended up getting that role. But let's not digress. So yeah, Tombstone. That's not
Yeah,
bad.
and Kurt Russell, he did a great Wide Earp. He really did. In fact, Kurt Russell was a huge fan of the Wild West and Wyatt Earp. In fact, he named his son Wyatt.
Yeah.
And he did, I mean, he did exceptional in that movie. It was absolutely one of the best movies. I've probably seen it 100 times. I believe I could act in that movie
Mm.
as many times. It's my husband's absolute favorite movie that he loves, and he even got the kids hooked on it. And it's really good. It's just, you hear stories, growing up, you hear about these characters in the Wild West and what happened whenever they went over there to establish those
Mm.
states and stuff. But when you really learn about the real people, not just the people you hear, but you really delve into it and learn about it, it was great. Wyatt never had any children. He
Nope.
ended up marrying that girl that was the opera singer, and they never had any children. They were married for Oh gosh, it was like 50 some years. And I
Mm.
think he died when he was in his 80s. I think in Washington State, I do believe. Don't hold me to that, but I believe it was Washington State.
I mean, considering that I mean, there's people going around with his surname. The fact that he didn't have any children is very interesting, isn't it?
Well, he had all his brothers, remember?
Yeah,
He had Virgil and
yeah,
and my understanding is they had children.
yeah.
So that's where
Uh,
the name was carried.
mm. I mean, I don't know. It's like the what I find quite interesting is like the Wild Wild West, or the West, as you Americanese over there. The thing is, people still walked around with holstered pistols, and
Oh
until
yeah.
around 1910, 1912. They still, in certain parts of America, you still had people using horses, and you still had a sheriff standing on a outside a saloon, with a sheriff badge, and with his pistol on his hip. And a lot of people go, "Oh no, it ended very young." No, it didn't. It carried on. In some parts of America, you still had that type of lifestyle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be technical. We still walk around with our guns holstered.
yeah,
I mean that hasn't changed. We still do that. I mean, we still have, people have my cousin, and matter of fact, and of course, we're mountain people, so we're a little
yeah.
different than most people, but
Uh-huh.
he walked around with his gun on his hip, just like a police officer does. That
Yeah.
gun was still right there on his hip to the day he left this world, and that was in like 2011. So that part has never changed. We still walk around, just carrying our guns like they did, like the cowboys did. We still
Yeah.
do that.
I mean, what was I going to say? What I find quite interesting is the next topic we're going to talk about. If you're ready
Okay.
for that.
I'm ready. Go for it.
Okay, right. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Let me just give you a background on this one. 2009, 11 women and girls were unalived by a serial killer. And this place, it's a place in New Mexico, near Albuquerque, and I forgot the freaking name of the place. Mesa, Mesa, West Mesa, and basically, I am talking about Boneyard, starring Mel Gibson. No,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
yeah,
Yeah,
Mel
Mel
Gibson,
Gibson.
yeah. Basically, Boneyard is that came out last year is based on true events that happened in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where a serial killer was unaliving some young ladies, and altogether 11 young ladies. It's based on a true story. A woman walking a dog found a bone in the West Mesa Desert. Authorities discovered the remains of 11 women and girls, and unfortunately a fetus. The victims were between the ages of 15 and 32 and disappeared between 2001 and 2005. Most of the victims were ladies of the night, and police interviewed several suspects, but none were charged or definitely connected to the case. The film Boneyard is a work of fiction, but it's faithful to the basic factual outlines of the case. The film stars Mel Gibson as an FBI agent, Petrovich, Curtis, 50 Cent Jackson as the police chief charter, and Brian Thunderholt as Detective Ortega. Um, I've watched it, and it had me on the edge of the seat the whole time. Because at one point I thought Mel Gibson's character was going to lose the plot and start slotting everybody. Because it's a very, 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 very good film. And the fact that it's based on true events, which is unfortunate, but it's based on true events, it is worth the watch. But you need to remember that this is based on true events. So if you are easily, how can I put it? There's a word for it. What's it called?
Affect? I don't know.
No, if you're easily affected by traumatic stuff like this, then I would suggest you don't watch it. However, if you want to watch it, then just be aware. Watch it with someone who can. But yeah, it's based on true stories. So it's called Boneyard, and it came out last year. But we'll go into depth. We'll go into depth about it. I'm not going to give away too much about the actual film itself, because I can tell you now the acting, the storyline, everything. At one point, it had me sitting on the edge because, like, it literally had me sitting on the edge of my seat. There you go. Trigger warning if you're going to watch this film. Trigger warning. But anyway, you want to do the other one, the last one, the blood?
Oh, yeah. Being that we were talking about the Boer War, we came across two movies. If you want to watch something, and I tried to find movies that were free, so you don't have to pay to watch them. And it's on YouTube. It's called Blood and Glory. And this movie is something that you can watch that kind of explain what Spawn and I were talking about earlier about the Boer War and what happened. And there's another movie called Breaker Morant, and it was a 1979-1980 film, and I do believe that's on the Colonial Film Archive, so that's something that even people overseas should be able to watch that shouldn't cost you anything. I'm all about free, If you ain't got to pay for it, why pay for it? And those movies, both of those are about the Boer War.
And there's one more that came out in 1992, and it's actually called, the title of is actually called The Boer War. So, there are places out there you can watch this all for free. And there's also, in regards to Boer War, you can do, like, there's documentaries about it as well. Now, what we're going to do now, we're going to take a moment. That was interesting, but wow. It's really strange how in depth you go when you talk about this stuff. It's really interesting. Considering that we've been here an hour and a half now and we've got this far. I mean, this is insane.
I keep you on key. I'll keep you on schedule.
No, because the thing is, I looked at it and I went, hang on a minute, hour and a half? I thought we'd been here 2 hours. What the hell? Someone stole an hour, fuckers. Talk about any other films you've watched.
Oh, I really hadn't watched a whole lot of films lately. Unfortunately, it's just been tied up with watching people act a fool on YouTube. I love people acting a fool on YouTube. I absolutely love it. I love to watch First Amendment auditors that are out just filming in public, and then these people lose their mind over it. I mean, like, literally, they will go down. They'll be filming, let's say, on a street corner. They're standing on the sidewalk and they're just filming everything that's happening in day-to-day life. People will drive down the street, turn around, come back, park their car, get out, and come up and approach these people and want to know, what are you doing? I am 54 years old, and I have never in my whole life ever walked up to somebody standing on the street and go, what are you doing? It's never occurred to me to do that. It's never been something I've thought about. But these people, I mean, they lose their ever-loving mind. They go completely crazy.
Do you know what I find really funny? I watched a while back. I watched one, and it was absolutely hilarious. This auditor, he was in his car, he's driving and all that, and he just wanted to test this post office. And he drives into the car park, which is a private car park, a public car park, but it's private. He gets out of his car, he walks out, he does everything that he needs to do, and he walks out, and then he turns his main camera on, because he's got a body camera on, and he turns his main camera on, and then it transitions from his body, from his GoPro on his body to the camera. He starts walking, next thing you just hear, excuse me. You can hear it in the background, excuse me, sir, sir, hello? And he stops, turns around, and there's this guy, there's a guy approaching him. And right when you see the guy, you look down on his left hip. Well, looking at him on his left, but his right hip, he's got a freaking weapon. Right. So this guy's going, stop! Don't approach me! Don't come near me! Don't come near me! Yeah. Right. You're carrying a gun. Don't come near me. This guy doesn't stop. He keeps coming. He keeps coming. He keeps going. And he comes up. And next, you just hit it. Shh. He must have emptied the whole can. He must have emptied the whole CS spray on this guy, because this guy just dropped to the ground like a crap of shit, and he just went, "Oh, I can't see." And every time, you can see him holding that camera and Richie pointed it at the weapon, just making sure he wouldn't go for the weapon, and if he did, and then there was another transition. Yeah, that was a good film, Annie. And then there's another film a transition to his body camera, because he then starts showing. So the police turn up and everything else, and other people turn up. The police turns up. He then transitions back to his body camera, and he shows the police on the video what happened. And you can actually hear the police officer giggling. He's like, "Wait, did you know him?" And the guy went, "No." He says, "Do you know where he came from?" And the guy went, "No." He says, "So what you were doing?" I said, "Well, I'm a First Amendment auditor. I was going to go into that post office." And then the cop turned around. He went, "Well, that's not going to happen now because we've got this going on." And he went, "Well, yeah. So I'm going to carry on filming, and I'm going to, And the cop was really professional. He respected the guy's amendments and everything. And there's ever bloke going, "Yeah, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you." And the cop turned around and said, "Well, actually, I've just seen the footage of this gentleman, and you are the aggressor, so you're nicked." And he arrested the guy.
Hey, look, I love to watch Impact Media. That's one of my favorites. Impact Media and oh god, what's the kid called? Shoot, I can't think of his name. I'll think of it in a minute. Bayside Transparency. I call him the kid.
Okay.
But Impact Media, they must emit some kind of pheromone.
Yeah, because they attract all the...
Oh my God. All they do, I lie to you not, they will stand at the door of the post office. Okay.
Yeah.
And just catch the people going in and out of the post office. These people go insane. I mean, they come up and try to hit them. They ask them, "What are you doing here?" And the guy says, "We're just here testing the First Amendment rights to film in public. This isn't public. This isn't public. This is private." "No, ma'am. This is public. It's the post office. It's owned by the government, taxpayer funded."
Yep.
They were the kid on Bay Area Transparency was in a government office that's located in a private building. Okay. So this government business rented this private office in this building. Well, the building owner management said they wanted this guy trespassed. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Yes, we can, because we own the building." "Sorry, can't do that." The moment that you lease that space to a government agency, you acknowledge that space and the building, now not the other offices, but the common areas of that building and that particular office is public property. So you can't just trespass them for no reason, because you have opened that door. You've opened Pandora's box by leasing the space to the government, because everyone has a right to go in and film their government in the practice of their duties. And people are like, "Yeah, but there's private information in here." Well, I'm sure there is, but that's your problem to put it away, not my problem. My problem is not in capturing the private information. It comes as if I show that private information. But again, so many people, and especially in our country, we're not taught this really in school. They glaze over it. They're real quick to glaze over that part in school. They don't go into detail and teach you. So all these people don't know it. And you'd be surprised how many veterans lose their mind over the camera. It's mind-boggling. So I watch those all the time. I love to see people make a fool of themselves. I love a good Karen that's drunk acting a fool.
I mean, here's the problem. I mean, Lisa just mentioned, "Hi, Eric. we've got your. Here's right. I need to make this absolutely clear. Over here in the UK, right, auditing is completely different than it is in the United States. Over in the United States, you've got the First Amendment and the Fourth Amendment. You've got different amendments over there and different rights that people can do when it comes to governmental property. Over here, and this happened, I'm not going to say where, right, but I was actually on duty in camp when over the radio we had this message. We have people outside video recording and taking pictures of vehicles entering and exiting the camp. What do we do? I lost my shit. I got straight on that radio and I went, you call the police, you get the RMPs out and you get them out there and you detain those because it can be considered as hostile photography, which comes under the Section 43 of the Anti-Terrorist Act, right? Because you don't know what they're using that footage for. Mm-hmm. Over here, the laws for auditing are different, right? Now, you can be, people follow, stand outside police stations and that. And they're trying to copy what auditors do in America here in the UK.
Yeah, I've seen some of them.
The problem is, though, over here, there are different laws. We don't have what they call, the First Amendment and the Fourth Amendment, yeah?
Right.
All these amendments. We have, like, bylaws, laws, and, and auditors over here, they're basically... How can I put this? I'll give you an example. Down in there's a naval town called Portsmouth, and this happened a few years ago. There was a guy. He was doing. He was genuinely. I actually checked the video, and he genuinely was taking pictures of the statues and stuff like that. But what he was doing, he was testing. Well, he was trying to be clever. Problem was, though, what he was doing, right? It's called hostile photography. It means that, like, you can be detained under Section 43 of the Anti-Terrorist Act or Section 51, right? Due to the possibility that what you're doing, you are planning you're planning something naughty, right? Because the thing is, regardless if you say, no, I'm just taking pictures of the statues, the problem is, right, there's no way to prove that. Now, in America, if you stand outside the post office or you go into a federal building, right, the police, the system already know you're the First Amendment auditors, you're auditors. So it's part and parcel of your constitution. Over here, it's not. And I find it very, very, very stupid that people are trying to copy stuff that's happening in America over here. There was a guy over in Germany tried it. He got arrested and thrown in jail.
Oh yeah, it's you got to definitely know what your laws are in certain areas. Like over here, if it's a military base, okay, as long as we don't go past the the DM zone, that line, that our demarcation zone, yeah,
DMZ
as long as you don't go past that demarcation zone, then you can film everything on the outside. They had like a whole bunch of helicopters, and they had this fence up. You could walk down the sidewalk and look in and see the helicopter sitting there.
Yeah.
And so this guy was walking by and he was just filming it. He wasn't an auditor. He was actually just a guy that was recording because his little boy liked helicopters.
Yeah.
And I mean, they lost their mind up in there. They came out, the military police and everything, and they were like, we're going to detain you. And he said, for what? You can't detain you. You haven't done anything wrong. Or you're videotaping what's, on the other side of that fence. But it was just like a wrought iron fence. You could see right through it. He's like, yeah, but you can't trespass my eyes. You can't tell me I can't look over there. If I can look over there, I can film. And I'm thinking to myself, come on. I expect it from the everyday person. I get it. I expect it.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, go on.
That's what these guys fight for. Y'all fight for this, for everybody to have this right, and you don't know the right. It baffles me. It never gets old to me, ever.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's a funny thing. Let me just answer a couple of questions. Like, for example, Dog. He says that the police don't carry over here. We don't need the police don't need to carry because we have a separated unit called the Tactical Firearms Unit, or the ARO, SFO, and also we got CTSFO, which stands for Counterterrorism Firearms Officer. Right? And that's why officers now on the street do carry do carry tasers, and they do use them. And right, ride that lightning. Now, here's the difference between America and over here. It's we've got a different, how can I put it? Our way of life is different over here than it is in America. Okay. And because we have to also understand a lot of American citizens haven't traveled, and a lot of Brits probably haven't traveled. Right. So it's the culture is different. Over here, we don't need a weapon to fight each other. We just fight each other. You just punch each other, and it happens, right? So, people need. This is why I always say, step out the box and look at the thing, from outside the box. But one thing I can assure you is that there's always going to be armed police everywhere. Now, here's the thing that something else he said that about the way people behave around the horse guards. Yes, unfoot here is the comment here. I mean, don't forget, we're going to go back into the film history in a minute, but we'll just finish this topic off. The way people behave around those horses. Now, you have to understand that, different cultures have different behavior. Now, I've come across people, holding the reins. We've even got local people who are drunk or under the influence of drugs or whatever, and the way they behaved. I mean, I've walked past there and someone was actually shouting at one of the troopers on a horse. So I just, I sort of accidentally bumped into the guy, and he looked at me and I went, "Oh, sorry about that, mate." And that was that break in communication that sort of took his distraction away from, the poor guy on the horse, and the horse as well, because these horses are trained. They are institutionalized and they are trained. They are soldiers. 4-legged soldiers built like bricks and soldiers. And people need to understand that just because you see these guys sitting on the horse, or you see these guys marching around at Buckingham Palace, or standing on guard outside different places in London, they're not for show. They are doing a job. They are protecting the monarchy. They are protecting that property, and they will use force. And that's why there's also armed police around them. So don't think that it's like some sort of fairy tale. And this is what really perturbs me, is because people come to the UK, they go to London, and they go and they treat these people they treat these troops like if they're, like some, something from Disneyland, but they're not. These guys have been to war. They've been in a kinetic conflict. They have fixed bayonets at one point, right? And they are doing their duty. And people need to, it's just like over in the States, for example, Arlington. When you go to Arlington, you are to be silent. You are there to respect the tombstone of the unknown soldier. You don't go there and you start flapping your gums. You are there to respect those troops, and that's the way it's supposed to be, and that goes for anyone. And the more, and this is what really grinds my gears, is the fact that in every country where you have troops who are guarding, like in Arlington, for example, or Buckingham Palace, or Horse Guards, or the castle in Prague, or the memorial in Germany in Bonn, or in Italy in Rome. Or it really pees me off that people have no respect, but they expect to be respected, but don't understand that those people like myself and everyone who's worn a uniform have made sure, especially the guys in the First and Second World War, have basically paid the ultimate sacrifice so these people can act like complete prats. So just for the record, if you ever come to any of these countries, or if you go to Arlington or anywhere else, right, have some common courtesy and some respect. There you go. That's my rant done and over with.
Oh, I agree. I've seen the videos of the people that go up to the horses. I mean, they don't have a problem you come up standing there and get your picture taken. That's good. But they want to come up and pet the horses, and and the guards will go, "Step back," and
Yeah,
then they act offended. They're like, "Oh, my sensibilities, they're clutching their pearls, they're having a fit because," and I'm thinking to myself, what a dummy. Who would even think to touch the horse? That would never even cross my mind that it's okay to go up there and touch the horse. It doesn't say pet me, it says do not touch. Big
yeah.
sign.
You
I
know,
can bite.
do you know they've now put white lines down? But the best part is, I actually know some of the horses down there. I mean, like when I've been in that freaking town, I've had the pleasure of meeting Osborne. I don't know if anyone knows about Osborne. Anyone know about Osborne?
Yeah, Ozzy.
No, no,
I
no.
mean, that's the only
I'm,
Osborne I know.
no, I'm talking about Osborne the horse.
No, we don't know about no Osborne.
Oh, Osborne is, yeah, he's old school. He's definitely old school because he's the one that bites everybody. He's the one that will grab you and he will then use you as a rag doll, and he'll nip at you, he'll bite at you. He's the horse there was I don't know if it was a Korean or a Japanese tourist, and he had his back turned to Osborne, and it was in the summertime. And Ozzy just went over and then stole a bottle of water out of his bag. It was absolutely hilarious. And I mean, he's richly, not just him, I think there's another, I can't remember the other horse's name, but him and there's another horse. The other horse will bite you and not let go. He'll bite you, let you know, and then he'll let you go.
Well, they clearly have signs up, people, when it says I can bite. I mean, it's real simple. Now, I would love to. I mean, it would be on my bucket list one day to go over and go to London. I would love to do it because I love everything about the British monarchy and the family tree and how they got the land. I'm just the history of the British monarchy is just fascinating to me beyond belief. And so I'd love to go see it one day. I probably never will, but that's what YouTube's for.
Well, the best thing that I actually enjoy is the fact that, now that I'm retired and I'm watching these guys, and then you're watching the Roma. I call them the Roma because they're the ones who roam around and they place themselves in different positions, like every certain while. They just walk around, and when they come out and they do an about turn and they face horse guards and they look left and they look right and they get a nod, and that's basically just making sure, yeah, you're all right, yep, yeah, you're all right, yep, and then they walk out. They walk back in. And there was one day, I was watching it. This woman, oh my word, she looked like, I don't know where she came from, but she looked like she had a bit of money, thinking that excuse me, she could do what she liked. And he just went, "Step aside for the King's Guard!"
Yeah. I
Oh,
will say she was clutching. Oh, God, clutching your pearls.
I swear to God, right? Her arse cheeks and her taco cheeks both went like that, and she levitated and moved to the left. Even her husband just looked at her and he just went with his finger. He went, that scared you, didn't it? And then I rewound it and watched again, right? She had all this makeup on, yeah. And you could richly see when he shouted at her, she went pale as a ghost, richly. I was creasing up laughing. I thought it was funny. The people who, the guards are soldiers and they are serving soldiers. They are, and you do get people who go up, especially when they're in the arches, and you get people going up, trying to get them to laugh and stuff like that. And they're not going to get in trouble if they do laugh or they smile, because like at the end of the day, it's only human. But if they, there's one of them, he this disabled lad and his father were standing there, and the father turned the disabled lad around, so whoever was taking a picture could take a picture. And Pete, is his name Pete? I think it is. And he just took one step. What he done, he sneaked over, get closer to them two, so the picture would be a good picture.
Right.
And you'll watch it. If you watch it, they do try to get closer to you, so they, when you do have that picture taken, God, there's yeah. At the tower, one thing I can tell you right now, if you don't get out of the way of marching troops,
Yeah, I've seen that too.
right, I can proudly say that I have marched on that ground. And I can tell you right now, if you do not get out of the way, no matter how big you are or how tough you are, you will go airborne. They will push you out of the way. Because you
Yeah,
need
I've
to
seen
remember,
them do it.
I can tell you right now, that is a operating royal property. They will push you out of the way. If there was one where a girl lost her hat, lost her glove, and someone threw a glove over the black. There's a black metal railing, right? And basically, you can't step over that. You can't go over that. Before it never that railing was never there, but they put that up because this is years ago. They put it up because people were, going up to the guards, the sentries, and doing stupid stuff. And this girl had I don't know if she dropped it or someone threw it in there, and he was marching up and down, didn't care, right, doing his job. And every time he marched back to it, you could hear her go, "Excuse me, can I get my glove? Can I get my glove?" In the end, they just walked off and left the glove there. And then when he done an about turn to come back to the guard box, you could see a grin on his face. It was
Yeah,
funny. It was brilliant.
I know. I've seen them trip on them people, and them people just be and they're acting stupid to begin with. I mean, common sense tells you you don't do that.
Mm.
But yeah, I've watched some people lose their mind on that. It's hilarious. I love it.
And just for the record, I have multiple times slipped and fell up there because the pebbles, the ammo boots that we wear, or the boots that we wear, they have little metal staples in the bottom of them,
Mhm.
and at the heel has got a metal plate in the back. So that's why you can hear us when you're marching. You hear this, and sometimes when you come to a halt, sometimes you will actually slide a little bit. So you have to be you're literally balancing how to come to a halt without falling on your ass. So it's good fun though, yeah. Especially when you have to walk over granite. It's like ice skating. But
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I'm sure.
So anyway, film history. Do you want to go into that, or should we just?
It's up to you. Basically, you talked about it most of the way.
Yeah. Right. Okay then. Well, film history. Where'd that come from? Right there. Film history. Right. Basically, Tombstone. A little bit. Was based on a factual events, and also Boneyard. Actually, no, it's not film history. Let me go back one. If you guys want to watch the series, The Recruit, that's a good series. I can't remember if that's on Amazon or if it's on Netflix. I can't remember, but The Recruit, that's a good one. It's about the CIA, and everything else. So
Hmm. I have to check that out. That sounds good. Sarah Joy is
yeah,
always giving me different things to watch, different shows and stuff like that. I enjoy getting recommendations on movies and different shows to watch.
who's got a soft voice? Yeah, they do.
He's talking about Connor, Jeff's son on Legal
Oh,
Vices, Vice Baby. He did his first live stream today,
okay.
and he was on there, and his voice reminds me so much of his dad's. It's not even funny. He's real soft spoken. He's a super cool guy. And if y'all haven't had a chance to watch Connor's live, go give him some love. It's Vice Baby. And so I think that's awesome that he could have just went on his dad's channel and used that, but he didn't want to do that. He wanted to maintain that channel in memory of his dad, but he wants to start his own and do what his dad did. So I think that's amazing. And he tells a little bit about himself. He actually went to fashion school and learned to sew and create clothes and stuff like that. It's a really good stream. If y'all haven't watched it, definitely go check him out. I think you'll enjoy it.
Do you want to have a giggle?
A giggle about what?
I just had a mouthful of rice, and then I had to sneeze. I sneezed, and then I had to blow my nose. And when I blew my nose, a piece of rice came out my nose.
Oh my god.
I shit you not. And my queen, I just heard a voice in the yonder, and my queen has just said, "That's disgusting and stupid." Are you calling me stupid?
Well, if the shoe fits.
I will fight you with.
And you will lose.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, right. Like I said, if you want to know any more about what we've discussed tonight, you have now got the chance to do that. And I need to mute myself again because I'm going to sneeze again.
Oh Lord have mercy. There's no telling what'll come up next. Rice and Dr. Pepper just don't mix, folks. But yeah, Connor was great. It was a great stream. It really was. It was a
Right,
great stream.
right. We're not done yet. Fucking, what, you a quitter, are you? Anyway,
No.
right. So, okay, stand there while I'm sneezing my ass off, and you're going, "Hey, I better Dr. Pepper." Yeah, no. I feel bullied and victimized. My anxiety is over the roof.
There ain't no more room on that roof.
One thing, mate. I tell you now, right? I can't wait to see their face expressions when they have to give everything back, everything they own, everything they got, all the sanctions that Bruce is going to. Oh God, I can't wait.
I know it's almost like Christmas, ain't it? I'm just waiting for August to get here.
Do you know I'm so
Gail,
tempted to? I'm so
I'm trying to train him. I'm doing my best here. I tell you, I'm working hard at it.
shut up, you.
Gail's laughing at you because
Yeah,
you muted yourself. I said
yeah,
I'm trying my best.
yeah, yeah. Why don't you both go and take a jump?
It's a
Let's pick
hard
on
job,
let's,
but somebody's got to do it.
let's pick on Spawn Night tonight.
Oh, kiss my ass. Right. Right. What we're going to do right now, we are. Well, you can answer some of the questions, and I'll jump in when I'm ready.
You
Basically,
mean it's question and answer time?
it's ask me a question time.
Ask me a question time.
There's going to be ask me a question time and Q&A time. So ask me. There you go.
You just want to be difficult.
You're just pain in the ass. That's what you are.
Yeah, but you love me.
Nothing new. It's part of your job description, isn't
It is. And I excel at it, I'll have you know. Just ask all the people in the fake what the hills.
it?
Yeah. Lisa said, "Don't forget to hit your forehead with the back of your hand while you're
Oh yeah.
dramatically being offended."
Oh, my feel. Someone.
Clutch them pearls. Clutch them pearls.
My man sausage is poorly. You
I
people.
do him like this all the time too, folks. Don't think this is just for on here. I do this to him all the time.
Yes, she does. I don't know why. It's like pick on Spawn every day. Yes.
Ooh, Texas Allen. She
Uh oh.
wants to know if you like horror movies. Horror movies are the bomb, but there's no good horror movies nowadays. Not like there was.
Texas Allen. Right now, I am in a horror movie.
I love that. That was great. That was a quick comeback too. I liked it.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to watch the what is it called? Nostaffer Nostarafu?
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. Yeah, they've got a new one out. It's a remake, but it's done in the old style. When vampire movies were like
Yep.
really, really good, and it was set back in the time when they didn't have power. They had candlelight, and the vampire was just
Yep.
he was just the most sexy creature on the screen, but yet he was dangerous and mysterious.
But here's a problem though. Hang on a minute.
Oh Lord, he's muted again. Ain't no telling what's happening now. I'm afraid. I'm afraid it might be something different than just rice, folks. Get scary. You never know with him.
No, it was rice again. This time, this time I'd done a double whammy nose and yeah. Anyway, um, there you go. So, there, I'm clear now. Right, I can hear things now as well. I prefer the original, the one that was made in 1938, the silent moving one. I don't believe in these modern. It's really weird. All these studios and they're all trying to make money by you know um, remaking all these films. The problem is because we got so woke and so snowflakey. The things that would entertain people and not hurt people's feelings, we can no longer watch or enjoy. And I think that's part and parcel of the breakdown of involvement, of evolution, because comedians have to clean up the jokes. You can't do films that in the 80s and 90s were funny as hell. Now they offend people, and Nosferatu was one of the most original, the black and white silent film. It's just like Charlie Chaplin, the dictator, when he done that speech. Do you know how many people have complained that exists, and the fact that he was foreseeing? Oh God, I'm going to sneeze again.
God bless you. You missed that mute button again, didn't you? Oh Lord, he's muted. Ain't no telling what happened now, folks. That was a big one. That could have been a major blowout.
Yeah, that was a major vote. I nearly went. Anyway, so and yeah, it's just like the mermaids, right? A cartoon character, the mermaid, or Snow White. I mean, look what happened there. I mean, I get it. People want to diversify, but I get it. But how can you diversify cartoons?
I agree.
You know,
And why? And I don't understand why Hollywood's doing all these remakes. Does nobody have any new ideas?
yeah, I
Why has
do.
it got to be? Why have you got to take this movie that was a great movie back in the day, and it was wonderful and it was special, and yet you got to remake it? I haven't seen the remake of Mustafa or whatever it's called.
What's
I
that?
haven't seen it yet, but I've got it to watch. I just haven't yet. But I like the old. I like the old, like the movie Dracula. It was set back in the day. I like
Yeah.
that part.
I mean, it's like
You know,
Snow
the
White.
new vampires, they can walk out in the sun. Who's ever heard of a vampire walking in the sun?
I mean, it's like Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, or young, small people, short people. Those people. I mean, you can't even say that anymore. It's a film, a cartoon, for crying out loud. What about Pinocchio? What? You can't.
Stop talking about Bubbles now. You know he did his screen debut back then.
No, but at least Pinocchio had a reason to lie. He would just turn around to it and say, "Hey, sit on my face and tell me. I'll tell you a lie." Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. No, what was it? Sit on my face. Ask me a question. I'll tell you a lie.
Exactly.
But hey, it's like Star Wars. They're taking everything. They're trying to milk it as much as they can. I mean, they've ruined Star Wars for me.
Yeah, that like they took it away from what it really, really was. I mean, it was just I don't know that they've taken these movies nowadays and everything is a remake. All right, Still Magnolias. Still Magnolias was amazing. It was one of the greatest movies I think that's ever been put out there. It was just absolutely wonderful. But yet they had to go and remake it. And then they had to go all these different movies. They're putting the same movie out that was done 20 years ago and they're remaking it and trying to change it. It's never as good as the original. If it's fixed, if it's great, don't if it's not broken, don't fix it. Just
Yeah,
leave it like it is and just let the history of the movie be what it's like trying to go back and remake White Christmas. There's no way you could improve on White Christmas with Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye and Rosemary Clooney. You can't improve on perfection. You can't change or trying to remake Rambo or Rocky. You can't change that. But I don't understand Hollywood. They have no great ideas right now. I haven't been to the movies. I think the last movie that I saw was one of the best movies I think that's come out recently is Wicked. And it was exceptional. And it was exceptional because they didn't try to remake The Wizard of Oz. They just made a different movie about Oz. They didn't try to remake it. They didn't try to change it. They just built on it and told the backstory. And I love that about it. It's a great movie too. If you haven't watched Wicked, guys, y'all gotta watch Wicked. But I like the old movies. I like the old stuff. We have become a and not just a country, not just here in America, but I'm sure everywhere, but in America especially, we have forgotten how to laugh at ourselves.
yep,
We've forgotten how to laugh at our differences. And somehow or another down the road we've lost that. We've lost that ability. That's just like the Disney movie Song of the South. I think it's one of the greatest Disney movies Disney's ever put out.
mm. I mean,
I
I'm
think
all
it
for.
celebrates the South.
Yeah, I mean,
Celebrates the South.
I'm all for diversity. I'm all for reality. Really, like in Wicked, you've got a black woman playing a witch, a white girl playing a witch or a princess, whatever, and they. But the thing is, what I like the fact is that, for example, diversity. I think that it doesn't matter what your skin color is or if you're male or female or whatever. What I believe in is that if they're going to create motion pictures of films or anything like that, it shouldn't be based on sexuality or gender or ethnicity or culture. You should be judged on your ability to act that character. It's like Macbeth or Hamlet or or what's it called, Star Wars or James Bond. It's getting to a point now where I would rather research and look for films that came out in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, all the way up to the 90s, because after the 90s, 2000, yeah. And, like
Look,
Richard Pryor, who else? What's his name again?
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder and all these actors or Williams. Robin Williams, may his soul rest in peace. You know, all these other actors. I prefer to watch them films because they're real. They're entertaining. I'm not into this fake crap anymore. Like Star Wars. Don't even get me going on these. Like the only two decent ones out of that was the Book of Boba Fett and the Mandalorian, and I have spoken. This is
Yeah, it's like they take it. I don't know. They seem to take it too far. I'm an '80s kid. You know, I was a teenager in the '80s,
latest.
and in the '80s we laughed at each other. You know, we found humor in our differences. We celebrated the differences in each culture, in each race, and in everything. It was just a different vibe. And movies from the '80s, if they didn't care if it hurt your feelings, they weren't there about your feelings. They were there just to provide comedy or to provide a storyline, and it was just so much more enjoyable than it is nowadays. Nowadays, it's all about, well, you can't do this, you can't do that because you might upset this person, you might upset that person. Well, good God, I mean, if you sit there and do that, you'll do nothing because something will upset everybody. We did a thing in the group, me and Sarah Joy. We did it in Sweet Tea and in Tubetown.
Yeah.
We made a post and it said, just to prove that people argue about anything, this is a stick. And it was just a picture of a stick, okay? And so up there, you had people come in and say, well, we call it a twig. Well, I think it's this. And I'm thinking to myself, see, you're proving the point.
Right. I'm gonna do something now. We're gonna have a little quiz. Right, and let me see if you can tell me the film. Hello, you guys.
I have no idea. You sounded like a whale. I have no idea.
Okay, let me do it again.
Free Willy. Free Willy. That's my vote. Free Willy, not vote.
There you go. Steve Amborn gets it first. Steve Amborn is the winner. It's the Goonies. Right, came out in the 1980s. Okay, right. Let me get another one. You've got loads of people in a row slapping one woman on a yeah, and it's a slapstick comedy.
Are you talking about your last Friday night? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah. Okay. Let me put it. Let me try a different one. You know, these youngsters, right, are vampires.
Lost Boys.
Yep. What about this one? Lamar.
Oh.
Lamar sang the song. Or is it Duran Duran? No, it wasn't Duran Duran. Aeroplane. There you go. Right, Kathy, you got it. No, actually, no. Steve. Wait, no. Steve got a second one. So Steve Ambon, you've got two so far. And the singer of the right, the singer of the next film, his name is Lamar.
I have no idea.
Nope. Nope.
Have no clue.
Nope.
What does he sing in the movie?
He sings the songs for the movie.
I have no idea. I don't pay attention to the songs.
Right. Okay. I'll give you one guess. One more guess, guys. Come on. I know you can do it. You should know this. Right? Okay. The Never Ending Story. Ending story. Yeah, anyway. Right.
What does Steve do? Stay in the movie theater all of his life? He got it right. Look at him.
Oh, did he? Right, yeah. Okay. Right, everyone's going to know this one. I would like a heart. One would like a courage.
Oh, of course. I know this one.
Go on then. Well, say it then if you
It's so
know it.
near and dear to my heart, The Wizard of Oz.
Yep. What one?
What do you mean, what one? There is only one Wizard of Oz.
That's what I wanted to hear.
As if.
Right.
There is only one.
What about this one? I feel your breath in my face. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
What about that one?
oh I got it.
I feel your breath in my face.
I got it. Because don't nobody put baby in a corner.
Go on then. What is it? Oh,
Dirty
wait a minute.
Deeds.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Well, you just told me to do it.
No, you haven't said it though. But let's see if someone gets it.
You got to give us stuff like nobody puts baby in a corner. Then we know.
So far, Steve's got 2. Cynthia says, I need a brain. Oh, Mitch, what's the full title? What is the full title? Ooh, you better hurry up. I bet he's typing these up back in 20 seconds. Oh, Kathy got it. Dirty Dancing. Right, what else have we got?
You know, that was actually partly filmed right here in North Carolina at Lake Lure.
Okay. There you go. What's that one?
What is this like? Name it. You got to give it to me again. Go ahead.
There you go.
I know I should know it, but I don't. Oh, so
Steve 2, Sarge 1. Well, everyone's getting Indiana Jones. Victoria got that.
Yep.
Victoria got it. Indiana Jones. Victoria, what one? Right. Okay. So, where's? Let's have a look. Let's see whatever films we got. Let's see.
That was it for your films.
4 boys walking down a train track, find a body. What's that film called?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes, it is a good one. No, it's not Temple of Doom. It was actually the first. It was actually Indiana Jones. Oh shit! Yeah, no, it was Temple of Doom, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. No. Sorry, no. The one I was looking at was Raiders of the Lost Ark. There you go. Oh no.
I think that was one of the first movies that River Phoenix ever played in. Was that one?
There you go, Aussie Jen. Wait a minute. Yeah, Dwayne Novel. You got it. Stand by Me. Oh, wait a minute. Let me just check before that. Yeah, first one he got it was Dwayne Novel. Right. Here comes a hard one, though. I have to describe this. Let me describe it. Large piano. A large piano and a swap It's a large piano and a swap. Like a piano that you can dance on.
A large piano and a swap.
Yep. Went to the fairground. Large piano. Good ideas for toys.
That sounds like an adult movie.
No, get your head out of it. Do you want a clue?
Obviously.
If you want to, oh my God, how the hell did you get that from that, Tamara?
Oh, she's banging.
What? Wow. Wow.
They want to know what movie was the line, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning."
Apocalypse Now. I don't even have to think about that one.
That's such a man's movie.
Yeah. Yeah, Marlon Brando. He actually, him and Charlie Sheen when they were actually filming that, is it Michael Sheen? No, Charlie Sheen, wasn't it? Basically, when they were filming Apocalypse Now, he actually got very ill to a point where he collapsed, and they had to rush him to hospital because if hadn't they done that, Charlie Sheen would have died on that film.
Mm.
He was the scene where he's in a hotel and he's laying on the bed, and he does that scene in a hotel room.
Right.
He's absolutely drunk, and he's that ill that they just filmed him. They just filmed him, and any weapons in the film, they did unload them, took the blanks out and everything, and they just left it. And they actually just left that's why that scene is a certain length, and then it disappears again. And if you watch very carefully, you'll notice that at one point he looks healthy, and then suddenly he looks ill, and then back he's healthy again, because it took a long time to film that. Apocalypse Now. What was the name of was it Charlie? Yeah, Charlie Sheen. It was his father, I think, who was in the Apocalypse Now, but I can't remember his name.
Martin
Sheen. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he was in a state. He was very close to death, actually.
All right, Kathy's got one for you. Build it and they will come.
Build it, they will come.
Yes. I'll tell you, Kevin Costner.
No, don't tell me. Waterworld, Kevin Costner. It's the what's that one where he played the wolves?
Talking about Dancing with the Wolves.
Dancing with the Wolves.
No, you lose.
No, you're pushing me. Let me think. Build it and they will come. Build it and they will come. Can you give me the genre?
Yeah, it was a drama.
Field of Dreams, yeah. It's a baseball thing.
Yep, Field of Dreams.
Yeah. Because there was there was anyway. What's the other? There was another film that I wanted to mention. Let me have a look. Where is it? Was it? Oh, yeah, here's the one. He's Alive.
We might need a little bit more than that.
No. Saturday Night Fever song, He's Alive. Saturday
Night Fever song, He's Alive. Are you trying to say Staying Alive?
Yeah. Very easy. It was a very, very liked film, actually. It was. Do you want me to give you a clue?
Yeah.
Robot.
Robot.
Uh-huh. Not crank.
iRobot?
Nope. Short circuit. There you go. Steve gets it.
Okay.
Steve got it. Short circuit. Right. What about this one? I have something to say. It's better to burn out than to fade away. That is a quote from the film. Yeah, Good Morning Vietnam was a good film. Yeah, it's funny. Robin Williams.
That was a good film. I haven't seen that in a long time. I have to go back and watch that again.
Yeah. There are so many. There's so many. And the next one, I'm going to give you two quotes, and I'm going to see if you can get it. Does anyone want that sentence again? I'll say it again. Hey, I've got something to say. It's better to burn out than to fade away. Nope. Do you want me to tell you what it is?
Transformers?
Nope. David Fox got it. Highlander.
Oh, Highlander.
It's the bit where they went in the church and the big guy went in there. He said, I got something to say. I've got to burn out a bit of fade away. Yeah. Right. Okay. The next one. Okay. 327. That's the first clue.
$327. That's the clue you're going to give us?
Yeah.
Have absolutely no clue.
Yeah. Come on, guys. You should know this.
Well, go and give us a second clue. Your second clues are better than your first one, so go and give us that second one.
Yeah. Okay, here comes the second one. Did you just fart? Which, by the way, was not part of the script. It actually did happen.
No idea.
No. Anyone want to guess? Anyone? Takers? Any takers? Okay, let me give you the first one with the 327. Toothpicks. Nope. No, not my cousin Vinny.
I have no clue. You lost me.
Okay. Okay, I'll give you another clue. Two brothers.
Blues Brothers.
Nope. And one of the brothers would always say, yeah. Rain Man. Kathy Stewart got it.
Okay.
I hope someone's keeping a score on this.
Of course not.
Yeah, no, Dwayne. Kathy got it. Right. Okay. Right. So, okay then. Now it's your turn. One of you guys can. Now it's me and Mypretty need to figure it out. Twins, Aussie Jen. Yeah, the one with Dustin Hoffman and Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise. Sorry. Let me give you a couple of the Fish Called Wonder. I quite thought that was funny. Excalibur was quite good. Short Circuit, obviously E.T. Phone home. Full Metal Jacket. The Princess Bride, that was a good one. The Shining, Labyrinth, Blue Velvet, Die Hard. I'll Be Back. Now,
movies like The Shining was good. That would scare you.
Now, one film that I am going to say that people should watch. Frankly, dear, I don't give a damn. Oh shit, that's with
Yes.
oh
Come on, you should know this one.
no, I've literally got the actor's face in front of me.
Deep South,
yeah,
Civil War.
yeah, I know. Pride and Prejudice. No. Oh God, what's it called? It was the old. Oh my God. Oh come on. No, it's the one where they kiss. It's a big famous one from the 40s, 50s.
Absolutely.
Oh God, who was it? It's got
Set in Atlanta.
Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind. You got it.
No, it's in there. I mean, I literally the moment you wrote that in there, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. The moment you wrote in there, I saw, that like in the cinemas, that picture where they were on the picture,
where he's
right?
holding her and she's in the black dress after Melanie has
Exactly, and they're
died.
about to kiss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that movie. That one's right on up there with
Absolutely.
The
I mean, that's the first thing that just popped into my head as soon as I saw that sentence. It was like poof there.
And S&M, that would be Alice. They wanted to know a 30-minute show that had Kiss My Grits in it. That would be Alice.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved all the early Steve Martin films. Yeah, Steve Martin. Yeah, he's funny as fuck.
I just watched Cheaper by the Dozen 1 and 2 the other day. It's such a good movie.
Have you? This probably sounds weird, but Batteries Not Included. I quite enjoyed that one. I don't know why, but I did enjoy that. Footloose. It was a good one in them days. Yeah. Once Upon a Time in America. That's a good one as well.
What's the greatest? What do you think is one of the funniest movies you ever watched?
What in the 80s?
Yeah, okay, we'll get 80s. What's the funniest movie in the 80s
that
you've ever watched that probably wouldn't? It would never make it on the screen probably today because it was from the 80s. But what's the funniest movie from the 80s you ever watched?
Oh, I've got so many. I mean, you're looking at Coming to America. You're looking at Roger Rabbit. You're looking at A Fish Called Wanda. You're looking at
hands down for me, the funniest movie from the 80s. Well, late 70s, early 80s was Porky's. Porky's.
Tootsie.
The
Tootsie.
kids from Angel Beach. Have you ever seen Porky's? If you've never watched Porky's, you have to watch Porky's.
Spaceballs, Grumpy Old Men.
Was amazing.
Yeah. I feel the need for speed. Top Gun. And that was when that's when they were playing volleyball. I feel the need for speed. Yeah. You know what? Tootsie was a good film as well.
That was a good film. And you can't handle the truth.
Yeah. I know I can't. Leave me alone. I mean, obviously you got the Last Emperor, or The Color Pink. Das Boot, which was based on a German Second World War submarine. God, there was so much. There was a lot of
movies in the 80s were hilarious. Caddyshack, absolutely, hands down hilarious.
Was it John Candy? Was it John Candy? Dumb and Dumber. Yeah.
Exactly. SMN 39. She says, if you'll just put up a lineup of 6 boys, and I will pick it out. If you've never watched Porky's, you have to. It's the absolute funniest movie that I've ever seen in my life.
I've seen Porky.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
American Pie was great.
yeah. I mean,
I love
Porky's.
American Wedding.
Yeah, I mean, Porky's now you couldn't. I mean, I doubt very much they'd allow that. This is how snowflaky people it's
Yeah, so
become.
I said
Yeah,
they'd never allow it now.
yeah.
Never allow it now.
I mean, stuff. Yeah. I mean, there's so many films out there that I can remember. You know, I mean, what's it called? Weekend at Bernie's. That was a good film.
Yeah, it was.
Raising Arizona. What else is there? I'm richly looking at all the.
SMN, that was the funniest part. Oh my god, I loved it.
What's that bit?
When that part where Ballbricker's up at the desk with the principal and she's explaining that the penis had a mole on it, and that's how she could tell it was Tommy's penis, and the coach is in the background. And that coach, he
Okay.
was almost identical to my first father-in-law, and he is losing his mind. I mean,
Hey,
he's losing it. And they're
hey,
like, get a sketch artist.
excuse me. We call it the man sausage. Thank you very much. Let's keep
Oh
it
my
decent.
word. Okay, a man sausage.
But yeah, let's move on from that topic, please. Thank you very much, everybody. We're not going to talk about anything like that crude. They Live. Anyone ever watched that?
They lived?
They Live.
Oh yeah, I've seen that before.
John Carpenter's film.
Yes, I've seen
Hi,
that.
Papa Jim. How you doing, bud?
And Lisa, Christmas Vacation is absolutely one of my top 5. Absolutely.
Who's Lisa's Vacation?
No, Lisa Farr is talking about Christmas Vacation. I told her that's one of my
Oh,
top 5 favorite movies. I watch it. I've probably seen it 500 times.
what do you think about the film She Devil?
Oh gosh, you're going way back. Good
Yeah.
Lord. That was a long time ago. That's like pulling out weird science out of your pack. you're going way back in the 80s.
Yeah, I mean,
She Devil was pretty good.
yeah, I mean, one of the funniest films I did watch is Throw Mama Off the Train. Now that was funny. I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
because I wanted to throw her off my daggone self. Good Lord, she was something.
Wait a minute. Okay. So now that we've talked about, films and stuff like that, now we are going to the original. We're going to go back on plan, back onto script, back onto what we were going to do. As you can see right in front of you, you got Ask Me a Question. So you can ask me or Mypretty a question if you've got any questions you want to ask. And that's for us. And then we're going to go into the Q&A where you can ask questions and, in general. But these questions, right now, it's questions directed at me or Mypretty. There you go. So let's go. Why am I doing the Brinking Benny Hill?
I don't know, but I loved that show. I would sneak with my grandmother and watch that show because it didn't come on till 11 o'clock at night. If my mother knew we watched it, she'd have killed me. But we would sit there and watch it on her little 13-inch black and white TV up in her room. She thought Benny Hill was hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone put yeah. Anyway, I'll bring that. Yeah. I mean, okay. Right. So let's go ahead, guys. Ask questions, but make sure that you put at Mypretty or at Spawn Trooper so we know who it's directed to. Thank you. Oh, I think tonight was fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh my. Oh. Yeah. It was fun. It is fun. It's always fun, especially when it's constructive and positive, and that's what I stand for. Yes, but don't fuck with me. My resolve is never ending, and no quarter given. Right, where am I? Benny Hill was still. Do you know that Benny Hill was an introvert? He wasn't like what you saw on TV or anything. He always kept himself. He was a very private individual.
Well, most of the best comedians are.
Yeah, but I mean, unfortunately, um, no, yeah, my pretty
Oh,
Nina's got a couple.
Nina, yeah, he's doing a lot better. He's doing a lot better. He's a diabetic, and he also has Crohn's and chronic pancreatitis. So some days are good days, some days are bad days, but he's doing much better with the coughing and stuff. It's just allergies have been so bad. We go from 16-degree weather, and today it's like 60 some degrees.
Mm.
So it makes people sick. And Kathy Stewart, favorite sitcoms. Girl, I love me some Roseanne. And I still watch All in the Family, The Jeffersons, Sanford and Son. I like Seinfeld. I have a tendency to like that kind of humor. I like humor. I like to laugh. But I love me some Roseanne and Two and a Half Men. We watch that all the time. We're watching reruns. The Andy Griffith Show. I Love Lucy. Those type of shows were my favorites.
Cynthia, have a fantastic night. Thank you very much for hanging out here. I hope you enjoyed the stream. And, remember, you know where we are. And this is going to happen more often, ladies and gentlemen. But obviously, there's still going to be films and stuff, videos and stuff like that coming up. All right, it's my turn now. Sorry to interrupt. Wait a minute. It's my stream. Okay, at Spoil, what is your all-time favorite movie to watch? To be perfectly honest with you, it was Star Wars. In 1977, I went to the premiere of A New Hope, Star Wars, and but the thing is, there are so many films that I've seen over a long time. You all right? Okay. There are so many different films, and yeah, there's so many to tell you, but Star Wars was my favorite one. The Black Hole. God, there's so many. We could sit here all night and just go through all my favorite films, but Star Wars is definitely, one of my favorite ones. Thank you very much for the question. Keep any more? Right, Steve, welcome back. Oh yes, welcome back, Steve. Any? Hello? Anybody? Don't forget in the question and answers, you could obviously this segment is you ask us questions, but in the Q&A, that's when generic questions. You can ask questions about what we've covered or anything else. So, right. So where are we? Did anyone ever watch Legend with? I've heard of it. Yeah. I liked old Star Trek shows. I mean, I can remember when Star Trek came out as a cartoon at one point. That I can remember.
Ooh, arsenic and old lace. Absolutely. There is nothing in this world better than a good black and white.
This is what I think the youth need today is to watch like silent black and white, films like with Charlie Chaplin or because there was quite a lot out there. I can remember. Oh, here's one for you. I can remember my old man one day setting up his 8mm film projector, and he ended up putting a film on it, and it was the Invasion of Aliens, and it was if people watched it today, they would go, "How the hell did this make any money?" And in them days, though, these films were quite sort of because you had various different things, like you had giant elephants, giant monsters and stuff, and it was all what do you call it? Fixed motion.
Mm-hmm.
So motion pictures are where they take a picture, move it, take a picture, move it. What's it called again? Stop motion or something like that? I can't remember the name.
It was, yeah, I know what you're talking about though. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good stuff.
Right.
Nina wants to know, when was the first time I ever watched The Wizard of Oz? My mother said I was probably about a year old, and it came on TV. It came on every
Hi, Victoria.
Thanksgiving, and that was something that we watched every year religiously. Of
Yeah.
course, I don't remember that far back, but I do remember the first time I ever saw it on the big screen. we went to our little local movie theater, and our movie theater only had one screen. It was, just a little small town place. And to get in, you had to bring a toy for Toys for Tots.
Mm.
And so my mom and I came in with our toy for Toys for Tots, and I got to see it on the big screen, and I can remember it like it was yesterday. It was everything. The witch was everything to me. She was always my favorite character. She was always my favorite part in the movie. She was just so wicked, I guess, that I fell in love with her, and she has always been my favorite part of the movie, and remains to this day my favorite part of the movie. I think she. I always thought, even as a child, I always thought she was just misunderstood.
Mm.
I never saw her as being really mean. I just saw her as being misunderstood.
Mm. Well, it looks like I've got one. I've heard that before, but before I answer that one for you, Steve, there's a couple of things that I forgot to mention. Quatermass, I used to watch that one. I really enjoyed that, and there was I totally forgot now because you put that History of the World. What was it? There was some horror. When I was a youngster, there was horror films, black and white horror films with giant ants and tarantula and stuff like that. Yeah. But when it came to the most weirdest film I ever went to watch, when I was growing up, obviously, myself and a couple of my siblings, we did martial arts, and my brother done 36, 37 years, and, I've been doing martial arts most of my life as well, boxing as well. And martial art films were, especially the old samurai films, the old Bruce Lee films, Chuck Norris and Bruce
Mm-hmm.
Lee, and, all these different various. And funny enough, it was actually not the Bruce Lee films that inspired me to go into martial arts. It was actually, the Japanese films that actually did it. So yeah. But like I said, the favorite one was Star Wars, but I did have multiple different favorite films. Steve, I've heard of it, but I can't remember exactly what it was about. So I'd have to do a little bit of research on that. Did I watch Red Dwarf? Who's that question for? Wait a minute. I did the same thing. Oh, Scanners. Jesus. Oh, yeah, I can remember that. Do I watch Red Dwarf? Really? Tamara? Really? You're asking someone like me with the sense of humor I've got if I watched Red Dwarf? Smeg off. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Yeah, I preferred the original one. Not the new ones, but yeah. Dr. Phoebe series with Vincent Price. Yeah. What is it? Mel Brooks movie. The producer. Springtime for and Germany. Winter in Poland and France. Yeah.
Oh, Lord, help us.
Do you know? Do you know this one here? Right, that Aussie Gen just put up. One thing I can say is that when the original Jaws came out, we need a bigger boat. When that came out, do you know how many people refused to go swimming?
Mm-hmm.
It was funny. For years, people would refuse to go in the waters, and if they saw anything, anything that was floating. I mean, there was once somewhere in California, if I can remember, that was years ago though. This was just a couple of years after, because I can remember watching Jaws, and then the news and all that. They said
Do you
that
know it
there
was
was.
filmed in the wintertime?
Say again.
It was filmed in the wintertime?
I think so. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. They filmed it on an island. I can't remember, but one thing I can remember is that a whale. I think it was I don't know what type of whale it was, but a whale got too close to the beach and beached itself, and obviously it's slapping around and then got itself off. And apparently there was a panic, and the police and the National Guard were called, helicopters got called, and they went, "It's a whale." That's how bad Jaws. And let me give you a little bit historic fact. When they were filming Jaws, about a week before they finished filming, Steven Spielberg left the scene, left the set, because he thought the film was the film was going to be that bad that he thought he was going to get jumped by production and people on the set. That's how bad he thought it was going to go. He didn't realize that he actually had a blockbuster in his hands. Yeah, Christine, also very good film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. There are. I mean, today half of these films wouldn't be shown on TV. You know, and it's unfortunate because, you know, you've got, what was that Cadillac? It was a Cadillac, wasn't it? Christine was a Cadillac. Was it a Cadillac or was it a Chrysler? I think it was a
I don't
Cadillac.
remember.
Late 1940s. Beautiful car.
Stephen King just does excellent work. He really does.
Yeah.
But you have to have imagination to watch Stephen King, and that's something a lot of people nowadays don't have.
Yeah. Now,
his imagination.
The only thing I didn't watch from Stephen King was Misery. That's the only one I didn't watch.
Ooh, that's good. I just watched it yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I'm no joke. I just watched it yesterday.
Yeah.
Because she is tripping. I'm telling you,
tripping is an understatement. Do you know what? Her and Lynette would have got on like a house on fire.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. They live in their own little world.
Yeah,
their own little piece of heaven. I tell you.
Silence of the Lambs, Nina. Now we're talking. Bob Hoskins, not Bob Hoskins. Oh God, what's his name?
Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins. Oh my God, the acting from both of them. It was that. I mean, that really gave me goosebumps. It was, you know,
with the nice Chianti and some fava beans.
You know, one of them. I mean, like, one thing I did know in the 80s, after what people coming out of the film, you know, especially if it was like you know, Bloodsport and stuff like that, you know, you see people doing martial art moves and all stuff. When I went to watch RoboCop, it was hilarious. Because I was able to do the voice in them days, and I was able to do the sound effects of freeze, creep, dead or alive, you're coming with me. When the first battery powered, I was at work once and I grabbed this battery powered. I had two battery powered drills in my hands, and I was like, freeze, creep, dead or alive, you're coming with me. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, it's really strange, but the mentality was different in them days.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you know the most favorite? Actual fact, the most not favorite. There were two films. The Omega. No, not the Omega Men. It wasn't that one. Well, that was a good one as well. The green thing. Oh, I can't remember. I think it was the Omega Man. The green stuff, you know, where they in the future, and then there was the one where a satellite crashed and it poisoned the village, and they lived in a bunker. And there was a woman who had epilepsy and like the red light, and she just Then there was another one, Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. Now that.
Oh yeah, now that does freak. I don't like birds anyway.
Yeah.
And that does freak me out. When them birds come down and start pecking on her head and stuff, that does freak you out.
Yeah.
Because you think that could really happen.
It's just like the film Killer Bees, you know, that came out in the 80s as well, the 70s, 80s, the film about killer bees. Mm-hmm. And like, you know, people were joking, yeah, it's a film. Dude, there are actually bees, African bees, that are called killer bees.
It's for a reason.
Yeah. You know, so yeah, it's quite strange that people just watch these films and go, it doesn't matter. It does matter because, like for example, we've got these Japanese hornets, these different European hornets now. That's nearly 1.5 inches long. I mean, richly, it's about 3 times the size of a fully grown bee. you know. And I've had the pleasure of actually meeting one of these bloody things in my garden. So, and the thing is, you're not allowed to kill them. You're supposed to capture them and then inform environmental health or whatever they're called. Yeah, I was like,
They
yeah,
need to wait for that to happen.
yeah. No, because the thing is, they people don't realize they put their burrows or they build their nests in the ground or inside trees. You know, so it's a different type of hornet. But anyway, the Blob, didn't like it. Steve McQueen, yeah, I didn't like the Blob. Yeah. The Thing, the original, the Thing. Yeah. But anyway, guys. So if you got any more, not any more questions, what we're going to do, we're now going to go to this one, and while I go and inspect the porcelain master, Mypretty is going to chat with you. I'll be right back.
All right. Yes, Pet Cemetery was good. That was excellent. I don't like number two. I don't like the remake, but the original Pet Cemetery was amazing. And it would not have been amazing if it hadn't been for Herman Munster. He made that movie absolutely great. It was really, really good. Stephen King, I mean, we all know there's got to be something seriously wrong with this man. I mean, there's something wrong in his brain that he can come up with these ideas. That's like it. It was amazing. It was just the most incredible movie back in the 80s that I had ever seen. It was just so good. It was something that you could see. You think to yourself, could that really happen? Is that possible? Kids go missing all the time. You don't know what happened to them. These things are possible. Stephen King's just amazing as a writer, but there's definitely something not connecting up there in his brain. That's for sure. I agree, Nina. The computer generated movies just aren't the same. Back then, the special effects were better than what they are now.
Yeah.
The Stand was good. Oh, have you seen the new Stand? The new Stand is terrible. I hate it. I will not watch it. It's the most boring movie I've ever seen in my life. But the original Stand was absolutely incredible. It was great. Unfortunately, I can't watch it now without seeing Lieutenant Dan standing there, and I don't see it as the guy anymore. Gary
Or
Sinise, all I see is Lieutenant Dan, Lieutenant Dan.
Spawn, what was the first job ever had and all jobs till retirement? The same question for. Uh, well, before I joined the armed forces of the British Isles, the best army in the world, um, I'd done quite a few different jobs. I did some working in the woodwork. I did a bit of sparking. Um, yes, I did have a paper round when I was younger. I can't remember half the stuff I did. I knew that I did work on a door at one point. When they found out how old I was, they told me to go home because I was actually a big lad. And when I joined the military, to be honest with you, when I did join the military, I got high test result in the test you do. I can't even remember when. What did I get? I think I got 96 or 97. I think it was around 90, between 96 and 98%. But the thing is, what they do, they sort of like spread the percentage around. And I had the choice of basically everything besides becoming an officer. When I joined, I went directly into the infantry. I did do other courses after that. I've done multiple courses in my career. I've traveled to many countries, met different people from different cultures. Um, I've done security. Um, I've driven trucks. I've done quite a lot in my career.
Not not
Um,
so much for me.
and the most the The biggest, I think, the biggest part of my life was my career in the military. But that's, I mean, we could. To be honest with you, if I started talking about my career, we'd still be here next year, and I still wouldn't be, because I'd cover every course. But the two of my most important courses that I enjoyed and that the responsibility that I had in my career was being an advanced team medic and being a BCDT instructor, which teaches advanced first aid up to the level of applying IVs, dealing with lost limb, loss of limb, and kinetic wounds. So, and also doing 3D effects and 3D wounds and stuff like that. That I really enjoyed because I was able to not just become more confident as a first aider, but also to teach other people how to save other people's lives. That there for me was that's the best thing that ever I can say that ever I've walked away from with. I'm proud of that part because the thing is, a lot of troops or a lot of guys or people who leave the army or the navy, the air force or whatever, they have qualifications that they can transfer into the civvy street, but one thing you can't transfer into civvy street is the pride that you have of yourself, of what you've learned, because the military teaches you, it takes you, it rips you apart and then rebuilds you as a complete different individual. But yeah, that's the most important thing that I've had from. Yes, I've done a lot in my life. But
And then for me,
sorry.
no, no, go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought you were finished. Go ahead.
But as I said, I spent 30 plus years in the military, both sides of the coin, and I've seen a lot, and I've experienced a lot, and you know the camaraderie, the family atmosphere, the unbiased support. It wasn't about, oh, what do I get if I help you? No, it was, the help was always there, the support was always there. That I do miss it. I do miss it. Like I said, around before Christmas, and that I was doing my counselor's course, which I passed. I'm doing a couple of more courses in the new year, and this is, I don't expect to be paid for it. I'm going to be doing it as a volunteer, because I think that if you've been in that situation, then well, you don't know, but you have an insight of what people are going through. So that's the reason I did that course.
And for me, my first job was working registering a pharmacy when I was 15 and a half years old, and I had an old guy that was a pharmacist. I called him Mr. D, and he pulled me up into the pharmacy with him and taught me to be a pharmacy tech. So by the time I was 16, I was an actual pharmacy tech. And I went on from that and became and got into managing a pharmacy. I managed the Walmart pharmacy in my town when Walmart came, and I was 20 years old and the manager of the pharmacy. And then from there, I was still in school, finished my college, and had an associate's degree in business management, computer programming, and continued in management. And that's all I've ever done is manage and train. At one time, I was managing we had a storage facility, and I managed that, and the husband did the maintenance part of it, and I trained all the other storage managers that came on to use the program, how to do it, how to be a manager, how to handle things. We had about 900 units that I was taking care of at one time. So I guess I've always just been into management positions,
Mm.
training people, teaching people how to do things. And then we had the baby, the last child, we had the baby, and I was still managing, but we lived over top of our office. We had a house, our apartment was over top of the office. And then my mom got sick, and so I was able to be a stay-at-home mom, and I helped take care of my mother. But my whole thing has just been management.
I must admit, the best thing that happened to me in my career or anything that happened to me in life, the moment I mean, I can remember. I'll never forget. Actually, fact, you asking that question has actually opened up a lot of memories from the past, and I can remember. And it was really weird because, like, my old man was the type of person, he would be straight with you. He would say, "Right, you gonna do this, this, this." And one day, I got so angry, and because I was training, I was quite a big lad, not fat but muscular, for my height and size. And I got so angry. This is why. This is when I started learning about work ethics. And I was walking down the street, and there was a building site. And in them days, what they used to do, they used to call a trivel. Well, I called it a trivel because the thing is, it was a box on top of a stick, and it was like an L shaped. So you had like a wall. The box had the front and the back. There was like a block, and you'd put bricks on that, and then these guys would walk up ladders with like 20 or 30 bricks. And I was that angry. I just walked up and I saw this guy struggling, and I just richly picked this thing up with all the bricks on it, and I just started climbing the ladder. And I gave they took the bricks. I walked back down, and then he filled it up again. I went back up again, and I was doing that for about 2 hours. And then I went, "There you go, mate." And then I started walking away. This guy, called me back. And in them days, you getting a tenner or getting £5 or £10 was a lot of money. It was a lot of money in them days. With £10, I could have bought myself a new pair of trainers, a new pair of trousers, and still had change. And the guy gave me a tenner, and he said, "Do you want to do some work?" And I was like, "Yeah, at school and everything." And he went, "No, do you want to do it?" And I went, "Yeah." And he said, "Every time you walk past, you want to come in, you just jump in, right? Just remember this, this, and this." And that was it. And that was my first experience. And then I did. I got bored with that, and obviously they finished the building, they moved on, and I got bored. And there was I wanted to make myself a baseball bat. God, this is weird. And I'll never forget this. And I was walking past a chippy shop, like a woods furniture place, and it says "Help Wanted." So I walked in and I said, "Look, what do you need? Do you need someone to clean up?" And he went, "Yeah." And I went, "All right, then. And you'll get this and this and this per week." And I went, "Okay, then." And it was only temporary. It was only for a few weeks. And basically, in the first week, I got taught how to use a turning machine. Using the tools and everything, and the turning machine. And then I started cleaning, and then on the second week, he said, "Oh, do you want to make yourself something out of this piece of wood?" And I looked, and I went, "Yeah." And he went, "Well, okay, then what?" And I went, "Oh, we're going to make a baseball bat." And he looked at me and went, "Oh, all right then." But it turned out to be a truncheon. I actually made a truncheon, and I've done it properly, did a proper truncheon, length and everything, drilled a hole, put the leather strap on it, and then I covered it in varnish and everything. And I did all this myself. And then once it was done, we cleaned it up, and then it got varnished again. And then I designed a display box, and he got the plexiglass, and he built the plexiglass for me. And I was getting £16 a week for cleaning and everything. And then I got that truncheon and the display box, and I handed that to my dad. And that was a gift from my dad. The only thing I couldn't get was the plaque, the brass plaque with obviously. And and when I went into camp one day, my old man was in his office. I walked in, and he had that truncheon with the plaque on his desk, behind his paste stick, right, his swagger stick behind it, and inside he put a plaque in there from me to dad. And so he actually put the plaque in there. So yeah, I was quite proud of that one. So I did stuff like that. It was, when you're young, and the best, and the thing is, how to make money, because like I had a paper round, I was getting a couple of quid for that. I did these odd jobs, and for some reason, it was always like for 1, 2, or 3 weeks. But my work ethic, I always was on time. I always done my job. Even when I was whining and whinging and moaning, people, "Oh, go make me a cup of tea." Fuck off, make it yourself. Do you want to do this job? Yeah, go make me a cup of tea. Okay. So yeah, I believe that work ethics in them days were way more stronger than they are today. Way
Absolutely.
way more important in them days. But yeah, most of my career was military. So, and the best thing that ever happened to me was the birth of my daughter. Now that
Oh,
outweighs everything. You know,
absolutely.
having that miracle in my hands. Yeah, yeah. There you go. See, there you go, guys. Now you know a little bit more about me.
That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Yeah, back in the day, we didn't get allowances. If you wanted money if you wanted pocket money, you better do something to earn
Oh,
it.
we used to always get pocket money. I mean, like, I'll give you an example. I mean, like, my old man was quite proud. Well, he was quite proud of me because, like, I didn't even tell him that I was working at this turning shop place. When I gave him that truncheon, he just went, "Oh, how much this cost you?" And I went, "Oh, no, it doesn't matter." But he didn't. He really didn't know that I was actually earning money, because in them days they used to give you your wages in an envelope, right? It was like a pay packet, right? It was a brown envelope, and you could write how much you've earned, right, and how much national insurance or tax you pay. But they would write on there how much you've earned, and they'd seal it. They'd put the money in it, cash, and then seal it and give it to you. Um, and I saved up enough money to basically buy myself like a really powerful stereo, and and a couple of records and that. And yeah, and then I bought my old man and my mother a gift. And then my old man went, "Where do you get that money? You mean stealing that money?" I went, "No." And I showed him all my pay packets, and then that was it. He was quite proud of me there. My brother was
Oh,
a bit
that's
pissed off, but me and him used to fight like cat and dog, really.
I hear you.
But the
Mm.
thing, like, someone turned around to me, "Oh, you got to be careful what you say on the internet." No, why should I? It shows that I'm a human being. I've got nothing to hide. But I am quite a private person. You ask questions, I don't mind answering some of them, but you're not going to take anything away from it. All you're going to take away from it is that I've got a very strong work ethic, and I served in the military, and I'm a type of person that you don't want to fuck with, because my resolve is fine. I don't like bullies. I don't like people who, use other people to make themselves feel better. Shit like that. So, you know, and I'm a proud father. Yes. There you go. This is why I always turn around and say, before you judge me, take a look in the mirror. Fucking good stream tonight.
Oh yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun.
Mm.
I
Right.
gotta get ready though shortly and get
Yeah.
off of
Right.
here.
If
I
there's
got dinner
no
to
more
cook.
questions, if there aren't any more questions, okay, I would just like to, from my point of view, I would just like to thank everyone for being here, and and remember, like, hit that subscribe, that like button, and look forward to more streams like this. Sometimes I'll stream on my own. Sometimes I'll do game streaming, and there will be, allotted days where Mypretty will be joining me. But we're going to keep that a secret. We're not going to go by a schedule. So I hope you enjoyed it tonight, and you've learned a little bit of history. So go and check out Tombstone or Boneyard, right? But just remember that with the Boneyard, there is a trigger warning, so be aware of that. And you've learned something about the Boer War in Africa. Oh yes,
Exactly. And I appreciate everybody for hanging out with us. I had a great time. I really enjoyed it.
yeah, yeah. And now obviously now she has to go and do her wifely duties.
That's
'Cause
right. I gotta go cook dinner.
it's
All
probably
right, y'all. Talk to you later.
absolutely, sweetheart. You take care. Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate
No
it. Take care. Right, now she's gone, we could talk about her. No, I'm joking. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. And like I said, obviously these type of streams are going to happen more often. But obviously, it wouldn't be fair if I told you when they happen, but they will happen. And there will be a couple of more videos going up in the next few days. Thank you, Spawn, through my pretty wonderful stream. Take care, and all my blue. Ozzy Jen, you have a fantastic night. Yeah, I'm going to do that once I'm done here. So again, guys, here comes the announcement. You have 2 minutes to collect your belongings, get yourself ready, put your shoes back on, and again, everybody, including all the new folk who've joined us, again, thank you so much, and please make your way to the exits, which are there, and here. You take care.